What is up, everybody, and welcome to Unobstructed Views. Alongside Jared Carrabis, I am Alanna Rizzo, and we are waiting to. I guess we're going here. I'm just talking to myself now. Jared, is that what we're doing?
Well, I thought that you were doing like a Ron Burgundy because you're like, I am Alanna Rizzo.
Alanna Rizzo. There we go. American Family Field at going to be the site of the game this evening. Jonathan Papelbon, once again, will be joining us momentarily. There he is in Mississippi. Of course, Unobstructed Views is presented by Blue Moon. Jared Carrabis and myself are on the Jordan's Furniture chairs. I can't say couch yet because we're not on the couch.
We do have a couch, though, yes.
We will be on the couch. All right, this is a team that you said you were almost ready to jump off a ledge because of. Tell me why.
Where do you want me to start, Alanna Rizzo? I will start with the fact that the defense is the worst in baseball outside of the Colorado Rockies, which means you are technically the worst Major League defense because I don't consider the Rockies a Major League team. I'm looking to see what Richard Fitz does tonight because will the real number 2 in the rotation step up, Pap? I mean, like, who's the guy? I mean, we keep hearing about, who's going to be the number 2. Let's see something tonight with Richard Fitz.
Yeah, to me, it boils down to nothing but starting pitching. Right now, you're not getting it. And so, to me, that puts a stress on your bullpen. Your bullpen's got to pick up extra innings. And I'll also add to the errors. The errors, you can't win without that many errors.
Yeah, you got give them any extra outs. We'll talk about Richard Fitz coming up a lot more after the break. I tell you what, neither team is playing particularly lights out right now, guys. Milwaukee Brewers 27-28, trying to get to 500. The Red Sox 27-29, still looking for some traction. The biggest thing, 9 of the Red Sox last 13 games have been decided by 2 runs or fewer. Jared Carrabis, 6 of those are in 1-run games. Something's got to give. You got to win the close game.
You got to win the close games, but the thing about tonight is that it should not be a close game. Aaron Savale has not been good. This is a guy that the Red Sox should take to the woodshed. I think we were talking to TC earlier today about this, and in the games that they've scored, whatever it is, more than 4 runs, they've got a ton of blowout victories. This offense is capable of putting up double-digit runs, but when they don't, it's the low-scoring games. It's the games where, like in the first game of the series, it's another 1-run loss. It's bases loaded, 9th inning, and you've got a guy at the plate that can't come through for you. Like, it would just be nice to win the games that you should win. Tonight's a game that you should win.
Pap, how much pressure is on a pitcher because the guys can't get down that big hit?
Well, you definitely feel it as a starter, as a pitcher, and when you go in there, as a pitching staff, man, we're struggling to get runs across the board right now. So you tend to want to pick up a little bit of extra slack. But To me, it boils down to starting pitching. They've got to go out there and at least get to the fifth. And you had the Walker Buehler thing where he gets kicked out early. And now our bullpen right now is decimated. Mm-hmm. And I also want to add to our lineup right now is a young lineup that's trying to learn how to play in the big leagues. That's not an easy thing to do. And I look for this schedule right now for us to start beating up on these bad teams because they got a run of some bad teams they're going to play. They got to win these games.
They have to win these games, and they've got to do it with guys that are being called upon to do a lot of different things. We finally got perhaps Jared Carrabis and Jonathan Papelbon some leadership. Rob Refsnyder talking about how sick and tired he is of losing games, losing close games, same. We're going to talk much more about that as Unobstructed Views returns right after this, presented by Blue Moon. Bernie Slide. Are we going down? We're about to find out.
We still lost. I mean, I don't really care. I don't really care about promise, and we lost. Yeah, it's frustrating. Tired of losing close games. We just need to figure it out and win some games, bottom line.
Yeah, particularly, when Garrett is throwing like that, does that amplify the frustration?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best pitchers in the game. We feel like every time he goes on the mound, it's a great thing for us. He's such a competitor. Everyone loves him. It's just disappointing that we can't come through from. Yeah, we just got to figure out. Like you said, there's some good at-bats here and there, and then, but we're just not getting the job done. It's not for lack of effort or, work ethic, game planning. It's just, we're not doing it. We suck right now. We got to just be better.
We've heard it time and time again from Alex Cora that we got to do better. I love the fact, though, Pap, we'll start with you, that there's finally a player audibly saying it to the public. And maybe he's a platoon guy, maybe he's not the guy to be the leader, but at least somebody is pissed off enough to say something.
Yeah, I love it, Alanna. I mean, Breggie's on the bench right now, or else he would probably be saying this. But I love the fact that Rob's stepping up, and, he's basically the leader on this team. He's got enough clout on this team to say this right now, but he's right. They do need to as a lineup, they need to step it up. And to me, it's the situational hitting that is just so bad right now that, this is what they're trying to learn. These young guys are trying to learn at the big league level is when you have men in score position with less than 2 outs, you've got to have productive at-bats, and they're just not having that right now. And so they've got to get back to stringing at-bats together within the lineup.
Can a platoon player have enough clout?
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob Refsnyder is that guy on this team. He's been that guy for a few years now. I think if you were to go in that clubhouse and be like, hey, who's the leader, who's the top of the pecking order, it would be Trevor Story and it would be Rob Refsnyder. And I think some guys might even point to Rob as the top of the food chain in terms of clubhouse leadership. So I think you can be a role player and still be a leader. It's just, I think on a championship team, it's hard to make that case. I think, when we were talking earlier about the leaders and different guys like that are going to have voices, guys that lead by example, guys that are vocal leaders.
This guy at the plate leading by example.
Yeah, but it's like, every championship team is going to have multiple guys like that. I don't think it needs to just be one guy. But I think it means a lot coming from Rob. And it's no disrespect to Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman has been there, done that. He's won a lot, and he's been a leader on a really good team, on multiple championship teams. But the fact that Rob has been here and actually suffered through these mediocre seasons, it means more coming from him.
Pap, should a franchise player be the leader? Why isn't Devers speaking up?
Well, yeah, I think that he should. In fact, I joked that if I learned Spanish, would he do an interview with me? It's still yet to be seen, still whether or not I'm gonna learn Spanish or not. But yes, I do. I think that.
I thought you knew Spanish, didn't? What about Ocho Cinco? That wasn't a thing. Cinco Ocho.
Yeah, I mean, what you mean? That was a thing. Yeah.
I know. So I mean, that sounds like you already know Spanish.
No, that was my alter ego.
Oh.
I tried to put him away. He's a pain in my ass right now. Okay.
Yeah, Cinco Ocho. They sold Cinco Ocho merch back in the day.
Did they now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, they did.
They sure did.
It was a pun off of Ocho Cinco, which Alex Cora I actually came up with that. So.
Oh.
Did you talk to Chad Ochocinco? Did you talk to Chad Ochocinco about this?
Oh, no, we just went ahead and did it.
We just went ahead and did it.
We just rolled with it. All right, what are you saying, Pap, about Alex Cora and Devers?
Well, so my point is that, yeah, like when you sign these big deals and you are the franchise player, there's certain things that come along with that. And now I'm starting to think that maybe with the Red Sox organization, they're not expecting him to do this. I get the feeling that they're just saying, go out and hit and do your thing, and we'll be happy with that. So if you don't have the organization that's expecting him to do it, why should the player? But I still would like to see him talk, Maybe I can develop a little bit of relationship and learning Spanish, and we'll get some Devers interviews, hopefully.
I would love that. I would love to hear him talk. I mean, if he's not talking even when things are going well, he's certainly not going to speak when things are going poorly. This is a team, though, guys, that needs to figure it out quickly. I don't know that the division title is in their future, but they certainly can still make the postseason. The Yankees are starting to pull away a little bit, though, so you got to take advantage, Jared, of the schedule coming up.
I mean, they didn't take advantage of the schedule the first quarter of the season when they played more teams with a losing record than any other team in baseball. So, and to me, I don't know if you guys are noticing it too, but it really doesn't matter who the opponent is. The play is the play. I mean, it's not like they play down to their opponent. They don't play up to their opponent. This is a team that hung, 5 earned runs on Tarek Skubal? I mean, it really doesn't matter what the competition is. They're going to find their way to 500 unless something changes. And I've kind of advocated for the change being calling up the kids. I think we can. I'm sure we're going to have conversations about Trevor Story and where he fits into the plans of the Boston Red Sox moving forward. I think we can have some honest conversations about that. I think the Red Sox are starting to kind of get there. Like once you start to see guys get pinch hit for, that's when it's like, oh, okay, like the tide's turning. I don't know if you remember this, Pat, but do you remember it was either 2009 or 2010. And this is when Mike Lowell was splitting so they basically made David Ortiz a platoon DH, a good 6 years or 7 years before he was actually done. And you start to see, a guy like Poppy getting pinch hit for against lefties, and here comes Mikey Lowell. We're now starting to see that with Trevor Story. It means something when you have a guy that's supposed to be an everyday player, a leader of the team, a guy that they gave a lot of money to, and then you start to slowly see, all right, hey, we don't trust you in this big situation. We're going to go to our bench here. It sort of is the marker of we're slowly easing into we don't want you in the lineup, period.
There's no question about it. Look, this is the big leagues, okay? And the only thing you do and the way you stay is by producing. So if you're not producing and you have some young kid that's coming up and that's producing, I'm sorry, you're gonna get time taken away, and we're starting to see that. But I don't necessarily think that this is the end-all, say-all of Trevor's story right now. I think that, he's struggling. I don't think he's a top-tier shortstop right now, but I think he can be. He's just going through a little bit of a struggle right now.
Jared wants to send him to the moon. He's been trying to send him to the moon forever. And here's the thing, too. It's like
I love Trevor's story. And the thing is, like, we talked to him in spring training. I know the guy has been through hell trying to get back on the field. I know it's not from a lack of effort. That was called the ball? Oh, great call. It's not from a lack of effort. He works his ass off, and he cares a lot. I love and respect players that actually care. That could go. But I think it's more so that if you're not performing in any regard, like I think if that was the whole thing that we were talking about in spring training. If we just get a healthy season from Trevor Story, that stabilizes the infield defense. The Red Sox are a better team if Trevor Story is out there every day. Well, he's not hitting. He's not playing defense. And it's like, veteran leadership only gets you so far. Like if you're not able to play defense and your arm is toast and you're statistically one of the worst hitters in baseball, I don't think it would come as a shock to him if they were like, hey, we kind of need you to step aside here so that we can get Meyer in his natural
right, but
position.
then you have Meyer that has 8 at-bats in the big leagues. Then you have Christian Campbell, who they're moving all over the place because they don't know what the hell to do with them. And then you bring up Roman Anthony, and then you have 3 babies you're putting on this. I mean, are guys getting called up too quickly?
I'd rather watch that. I would rather watch those guys get called up and figure it out at the big league level. That's more interesting to me as a fan. And if they played 400 ball, than watching veterans that can't perform play 500 ball.
Wrong.
I'm the fan. You're the player. You don't know anything, Pap. You're on the other side of the fence.
Let me tell you how brutal it is watching kids come try to play big league ball that aren't big leaguers. We've been doing that for the last 2 years.
He's the number 1 prospect in baseball we're talking about.
Right, but he hasn't proven anything at the big league level, and we've been watching.
Prospect means unproven, I was told.
That's very true. But we've seen minor league baseball in Boston for the Red Sox for the last 2 years. That's what I've watched. Minor league players try to be big leaguers.
Much more. BRB. mean, we're over here talking about Marcelo Meyer doppelgangers. That's neither here nor there. Christian Yelich, obviously veteran player, getting ready to go up to the plate. We've got a lot of difference of opinion in terms of who Marcelo Meyer looks like, but let's talk a little bit about fits. Realistically, hang on.
Why can't we talk about that immediately?
Because he doesn't look anything like Vinny Chase. He doesn't.
I am going to ask our producers to please pull up a side-by-side of Vinny Chase and Marcelo Meyer, and I dare you to tell me that they don't look alike.
They don't look anything alike.
And Christian Yelich, who they just showed in the dugout, he's like, I think they actually did like a bit together where Pete Davidson took batting practice for the Brewers, and Yelich was like, alike. He was like, yeah, like, I get Pete Davidson a lot. They look nothing alike. But
see, I don't see Yelly and Pete Davidson. No. Vinny Chase was a heartthrob in Entourage.
Marcelo Meyer is a sex symbol and will be in Boston for the next 2 decades.
Not if he sucks.
Oh, my God, he's unbelievable.
The only reason why he'll be a sex symbol is because he'll have a whole lot of money. That's about it.
Yeah, he does not look like Vinny Chase. I'm sorry.
He needs to grow the facial hair. He needs some stubble. No. We're going to have a talk about it.
Side by side. All right, Fitz, go. What do you need?
I mean, it's his first start in quite some time. My expectations are tempered, I think, to say the least. I think, if he gives me 5, I'm happy, Pap. Are you happy with 5 and dive tonight?
Happy, Pappy.
Yeah, I'm happy with 5 because I think he's going to be on an 80 to 85 pitch count, somewhere around there. But look, man, the last 7 starts, they're 0 for 7 with Fitz. But the dude has a 2.3 ERA. Like, the guy's pitching. Well, we can't have those. We can't have leadoff walks. We need strike one and leadoff walks in order to get deep into this game. And that's what I'm afraid of. If he goes out there and he nitpicks, especially against this lineup, he can't nitpick. You got to go right after them. If he does that, we're looking at 3 2/3, 4 2/3, which is then going to continue to strain on the bullpen even more.
I did predict that he'd have more walks than strikeouts tonight, and we're off to a hot start there. But
we got to roll those double plays.
Okay.
I'll love to see that.
Yeah.
Love to see that. If we can get out of here, if we can get out of this first inning with 15 pitches or less, I'm more than happy. We're right on track.
See, those are the things that have got to start happening. Is right here. You see, this is a
Edwin Diaz coming up to the plate right now? I feel like Edwin Diaz must be coming out.
Contreras shares the same walk-up song with him. Yeah. I feel like he can't do that.
I don't think he can.
I can't hear the walk-up songs. Man, they let me out of that.
Oh. Well, it's basically Tommy Trumpet. Or whatever that guy's name is.
I think it's Timmy.
Timmy,
I don't
Tommy.
know why I know that. That's weird.
We should know that. I should know that. Timmy Trumpet. Yeah. I love the song, but once Edwin Diaz came out to it, that's it. Nobody should have that as their walk.
That's weird. That'd be like if Nick Swisher came up to shipping up to Boston, Pap. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's doing that.
I don't think he is either, but it'd be a little weird if he did, right?
Nick Swisher. We had a Norelco commercial against each other when he played for the Yankees.
Yeah, well, Jared will have to tell us about his I'm Not Shaving For You sponsorship opportunity right after this. All right, Christian Campbell leading off here for the second inning for the Red Sox. Let's head over to Casey Hudson, handling all things via social media. Case, good morning or good evening. What do you got?
What's going on, guys? All right, we've got to go back to the young buck conversation, especially with Christian Campbell here. Sean wants to know, do you think they are harming the development of Christian Campbell by having him play 2 positions plus learning a 3rd position, all while having probably the worst slump of his life? I don't want to dictate that this is the worst slump of his life, but feels pretty aggressive, yeah?
And a hurt rib. I mean, all the offensive slumping goes back to when he missed a game or 2 with that sore rib. And then on top of that, it's like, why don't you go learn second base while you're in center field, but think about playing first base before the game starts. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, can we leave guys at their natural positions?
I had a conversation with Pedro Martinez last week on this day on MLB on TBS, and he said Christian Campbell is so good, they're trying to make him bad. Pap, they're moving him all over the place. He's obviously so talented, but let's go ahead and screw this kid over from the jump.
Man, that sounds like Pedro to a T. But, you know, to me, you look at his whole body of work. This kid had one really good year at Georgia Tech and has then now had one really good year in the minor leagues. He
started last year in single A, Pap.
That's what I mean. We're bringing him up too fast.
Yeah. So that is it. And I'm going to allude to that, Alanna. We are bringing these kids up too fast. And how hard, and you don't understand how hard it is to learn a position at the big league level. But if he keeps doing like he does right here and he hits, then the errors, you take that. You say, you know what, the guy's hitting 300 with 12 bombs. Okay, I take that. But right now he's not doing that.
No, he wasn't. Listen to this. Coming into the game, hitting 107 in his last 19 games. He had a 313 average in his first 28, you guys. He's seeing higher velocity in May compared to his first month. But, I mean, I'm sure that feels really good for him. But he has been scuffling, but perhaps it's because he's putting so much time into his defense all over the field.
So I disagree that they called him up too quick. He entered the month of May hitting like 301 with a 912 OPS. Over the course of a full season, like that's an MVP caliber season. Obviously, he's hit a little bit of a snag here in May, and it's been the polar opposite. He's been dreadful offensively. I think the OPS is somewhere in the 350 range. And not to make excuses for the kid, because he is dealing with a lot. He is, playing second base, but being put in center field and then having to learn first base before the game. He did have an injury at the beginning of the month that maybe he is trying to play. I think he's not the type of kid that would admit that.
Well, that's
maybe
the thing. He's probably not allowed to admit it, right? If you are 12 years old and you're at the big league level and they gave you this contract, you're probably not going to feel comfortable saying anything unless you're a veteran player that has the black type on the back of his baseball card that says, you know what, I'm going to need a minute.
Yeah, there's two parts of it. It's the money that they gave him, and it's the fact that he's a rookie. It's like, who am I to sit out? The team needs me. We're not playing well, and it's not like we're in first place and I can take some time off. You know, this is a team that believed in me, so I'm going to go out there and play every day. I think the example, especially because I don't know if you saw this, Pap, but Duran was saying the other day, like, I wish I had a veteran to put their arm around me when I was struggling my first year in the big leagues, so I'm trying to be that guy for Campbell. So if Duran is the role model for Campbell, what did Duran do last year? He played in every single game that he could possibly play in. He had the 2-game suspension. He played in 160 games last year. So he's looking at that, being like, if Duran's my guy, you know what Duran does? He plays every day.
Yeah, I agree with that to a certain extent. But look, the best case scenario is to have your kids learn how to struggle in the minor leagues. When I came up, I was 24 years old, but I had already learned how to struggle in the minor leagues. So that when I got to the big leagues, when I hit a bump in the road, I really knew how to handle that. Well, I think so. And I don't know if my coaches would say this, but and then there on after, I really didn't have many bumps in the roads. I was an everyday big leaguer after that. Right now, we are just not seeing this in the development of minor league kids, not only in this system, but in every other system. You have kids like Jackson Holliday, who in my opinion were brought up too early, Christian Campbell, but they're allowing them to say, hey, we're going to bring you up early. We know that. So therefore, we're going to expect these struggles. and they're allowing them to struggle and learn at the big league level. It's just a difference in philosophies now.
All right, Casey, we want to hear what you have to say, too, about Marcelo Meyer and Vinny Chase. I know that you got another tweet about this.
I'm trying to see the comparison here.
Are you guys blind?
I must be, because I don't see it at all.
Am I the only person with eyeballs on this show?
Jared Carrabis
so
is...
Absolutely right.
I think it's like the fact that Vinny Chase is a little bit smaller in the face.
First of all, I can't even see that far away. I still don't see it.
Just know that I'm right.
You're not.
I am.
You're not.
It's unfortunate,
We need
but
a
I
better
am.
picture.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to lose on this one. I'll never back down.
I
they're doppelgangers.
I know he's Cali kid. He's Cali cool kid. Let me just tell you this. But he ain't nowhere close to the spectrum.
Thank you.
A Hollywood megastar, people's top 50 hottest men in the world. I'm sorry, it's not even close.
Yeah, that show was one of the best shows ever written by Doug Ellen, ever created. He does not look like Vinny Chase. I mean, he could be
Sounds
like maybe
like
a distant cousin, but he's not the doppelganger.
I do have a man crush on Marcel Meyer. I will say that. Also, a great mind for weather. He's a big proponent of weather. I know Mike Trout.
Like Mike Trout, too?
Yes, very similar to Mike Trout.
Okay.
Marcel Meyer, big weather guy.
I like that. I'm a big weather guy, too.
There you go. You guys can talk shop.
I mean, I'm sorry,
Yes.
but Vinny Chase,
Same guy.
Adrian Greiner is super good looking compared to, not to say that Marcelo Meyer is not a handsome man, but
He just needs a little bit of scruff.
Oh, man.
Same guy.
by the way, Sloane in Entourage,
Say what up to Sloane.
my husband thinks she's a smoke show.
Well, I mean,
She is, right? She's a smoke show.
He's right.
He's right,
He's
right?
right,
Like, he's
yeah.
right. Yeah, she's a smoke show. There's a lot of smoke shows in Entourage, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah,
Yeah, anyway.
big Sloane guy.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor Story, look, this at-bat right here, let me just tell y'all this right here. I know he's 0-2. He's going to have to creep back in it, but this at-bat is going to be huge for him. If he can figure out something, this has got to be a productive at-bat. This has got to be something.
There you go.
Yes.
Ah.
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's weak contact.
Yeah.
See, that's not
But-
productive. Didn't even move him over, Pap.
He didn't
Yeah,
strike
but
out.
you know, like that's the thing is like there's small little at bats through a season that like a blue pit or there can get this guy back going again. Mm-hmm. I just don't know what it's going to take.
I don't know either. And I don't know. I think it's different when you can kind of like look under the hood and see there's some bad luck here. He's hitting the ball hard. He's barreling the ball. It's just not, finding any grass. Like none of that's happening, And I don't want to pick apart Trevor Story for 9 innings, but I think if the Red Sox were looking at this objectively, and I'm sure they know, if we have all the numbers as fans, they must have even more numbers as a front office. They know that it's not looking good, and that it's not a matter of a slump. It's like this is kind of just where it ends, and it's how do you handle this because he's still under contract.
Well, I mean,
So
he's
what you're saying? Go ahead, Alanna.
No, I mean, he has $25 million due to him next year, $25 million due to him in 2027. There's a club option in 2028, and just like that, it's 3 outs, and we'll discuss the contract situation and what we do with Trevor Story after this. Richard Fick's back on for his second inning of work, bottom of the second there at American Family Field, guys. Pap, we were just talking about it. They basically owe Story $50 million the next couple of years, and then there's a club option for 2028. And unless something really changes, they're not picking that up. I mean, do you cut ties with the guy for $50 million? It doesn't seem like a club that wants to spend money is going to do that. Do they figure it out, or do they say, okay, we've seen enough?
Well, you wait. Well, they're going to wait it out as long as they can, Alanna. That's because they are owing him so much more money. So they're going to have to wait this out as long as they can. So, but if this continues at an alarming rate, that what we're seeing right now of his struggles, we might be looking at the trade deadline this year of them dumping off a little bit of salary along with the trade. So. And then again, only Trevor Story will let us know this. It depends on whether he picks it up or not.
You're saying that's it, right?
I think this ends in a DFA. I don't know when, but I don't know that.
That would break my heart. That would break my heart for him.
I don't think. I don't know that many teams are lining up to take him on right now. I mean, if you just look at the numbers, you're looking at a guy that has been hurt a lot and now finally healthy and just unproductive across the board. I don't even think it's a change of scenery thing. You know, it's not like he's not motivated.
Wanted to come here. He wanted to come to Boston, so I don't think that's the change of scenery. But there's also nobody else hitting, really, with the exception of Jarren Duran, and Rafael Devers. So it's even more magnified when you're paying a guy as much as Trevor Story is getting. But think about that, too. There's no protection for Devers right now, so it's magnified even more. There you go.
Yeah, he's supposed to be protecting him. That's the thing.
That's the thing, and he's not.
Yeah, and so it's magnified even more, like you're saying. But look, at the end of the day, I don't think you can DFA him, Jared. I mean, you got to try to at least get something for him.
You're not going to get anything for him. Even
but you're
what's
right.
The difference if you eat the entire contract and you trade him? You're going to get like a pitcher from low A that's never going to see the big leagues. Like, that's the type of return.
You still got to get something.
You're going to get a body. You're going to get a warm body. But I think when you look at this situation, you have to look at the precedent for it. Have the Red Sox done this in the past? Yeah, they did it to Pablo Sandoval, but the difference is everyone hated Pablo here. I mean, they love him in San Francisco, but everyone in that room loves Trevor Story. They're going to have to handle it with a delicate touch, because if they do decide to pull the plug on it and say, you know, we need to, you know, we need to move forward and it's not going to be with you, then they have to handle that very delicately with the room, because you could lose the room by removing
with
a guy
the what?
Like that.
You lose the what?
The room.
You lose the what?
How do you say that?
Room.
The rum.
Lose the rum.
The room.
I drink rum. I don't know about your rum, but I drink it.
My frame of reference for this type of situation is you look at the Dodgers with Chris Taylor. This is a guy kind of the same thing, that they gave him whatever it was, a 3-year, $70 million, not even close to the money that Trevor Story got. I understand that. But this was a guy that was beloved, right? Had some massive moments for the Dodgers, particularly in the postseason. Trevor Story has not had that. But they had to say goodbye to him. The same thing with Austin Barnes, the longest tenured guy in a Dodger uniform with the exception of Clayton Kershaw. Sometimes you have to make those tough decisions.
Yeah,
look, these decisions are not easy either. They're not. When guys start to get time, like I remember this decision for myself, you know, my last year in the big leagues. Hey, we're bringing somebody up to replace you. And it's not, they handle it fine and great with me, but like it is hard to deal with players who have been so successful and are making hundreds of millions of dollars. Especially now, man, you got to coddle that relationship so that, you know, the next guy that comes in, you don't look like you're just throwing them to the wolves.
I keep coming back to the phrase, losing has consequences. And it's been 4 years of this, and he's been a part of all of it. He's been here for the entire time. And it's not his fault that he hasn't been healthy. I mean, it's not like he doesn't work hard. He's a freak athlete. He takes care of himself. He works hard all off season long. Obviously, he does the Trevor Story camp with all the younger players. But I mean, and it's not to say that you know, we're identifying Trevor Story as the sole problem, because that's inaccurate. It's just the fact that he has a guy behind him. Marcelo Meyer being one of the top prospects in baseball, also being a shortstop. It's like you can look across the diamond. There's some problems in each and every corner, but the fact that Story has struggled as bad as he has, and he has someone behind him that you can turn the page and start a new chapter here. That's what makes the conversation so interesting.
All right.
And
So
look, let me tell you something else too. Nobody knows that more than Trevor Story. Like, he is feeling that pressure right now.
Well, he took over for Tulo.
yeah, that wasn't an easy. I was there when that happened. That was not an easy thing for him. And obviously, when they traded Tulo to Toronto, everybody was like, "What are we doing? We're trading Troy Tulowitzki? Oh my gosh, he was supposed to be the end." I mean, I think if Tulo wouldn't have gotten hurt, he would have been in the Hall of Fame. If he wouldn't have had so many back issues, he would have been in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I mean, to your point, Pap, this is exact. I mean, Trevor. Nobody feels more badly about this than Trevor Story, but again, it's a business, and this is a fan base that has expectations. You know that better than anybody. You played here for a long time. You were a World Series champion. I mean, Jared's lived and breathed this team his entire existence. I'm just trying to keep him out of the hospital or out of jail. So it's a tough. These are decisions I would not want to make. But there's no protection for Devers. But then what are you going to do? You're going to have Marcelo Meyer in there, Christian Campbell, where they put someplace every day, and then Roman Anthony comes up, and you have two. Let's say Christian Campbell's in the outfield. Do you have two rookies in the outfield? We'll talk about that next. All right, top three, we're back. Talking about the Pfister in Milwaukee. That is where the teams stay, by the way, if you don't know that, visiting teams. It is supposedly haunted. Now, I've stayed there a number of times for my girl Jennifer McNiff watching at home a number of times. I've never noticed anything haunting there. Have you stayed there?
Do you believe in ghosts? No. Do you believe in ghosts?
I mean, I don't. Sure.
But have you had any paranormal experiences in your time?
A little bit, yeah. I had a townhouse in Colorado that, like, you'd come home and the lights were on, and I knew that I didn't leave them on because I was, like, super anal about turning lights off and all those things. And yeah, but I mean, I've never had, as long as they're friendly, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I had a ghost in my apartment near Fenway. Like 3 different paranormal things happened, but you could tell that it was like if Pap was a ghost, he would be doing this stuff to my apartment. I'd be like, all right, like that's just Pap messing around. Like it wasn't like malicious or sinister. It was kind of just like doing stuff where it's like, that's definitely a ghost, but they're not here to hurt me.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine being in Boston that your apartment was old. Like it was an older building?
No.
Really?
I think it was it was more newer. I think it opened in 2019.
Oh, no, that's new.
I don't
Yeah.
believe in ghosts.
You
I don't
don't?
believe in ghosts.
Okay.
No. I believe
No.
in Sasquatch and I believe in
You
aliens.
believe in
but,
Sasquatch, but you don't believe in ghosts.
yeah, but I don't believe in I believe in aliens, Sasquatch, but no ghosts.
Dustin
Aliens.
Pedroia is the biggest Sasquatch guy going.
But apparently, according to Pap, Petey had an incident, Pap, at the Pfister in Milwaukee
Yeah.
that you said Dustin told you about. What was it?
Yeah, he said all of his sheets rose up above his bed while he was asleep for a second, and they just came back down.
No, I'm calling
And he
BS on
came to
that.
the. I don't think he stays there either. I know you were talking about Mookie doesn't stay.
Yeah, Mookie won't
I
stay
want to
there.
say he doesn't stay there either anymore because of that.
I would want something like that to happen. Like even when I had like those weird things happen in my apartment, I was like, this is cool. Like I would like video it.
I would too.
Did you ever
that's-
see anything on the camera?
Oh yeah, like there was I had like an Apple Watch, and it just literally just.
No.
Yes.
Shut up. It did
Swear to God, I
not.
swear, I'll show you. And there's also a picture that got taken off the wall, and it was just like if it had fallen, it would have fallen, but it was like laying up against the wall. And then there was another time where we were all hanging out in the living room, and I was like, why is the deck light on? And the switch to the deck light was in the bedroom, and no one was in there. So there's like it could not have been turned on any other way.
I don't know. I went to New Orleans one time, and my friend that I went with, Erin, she was really into that stuff, and she wanted to go do like this nighttime seance thing, and I was like, I fell asleep. I was so
Yeah.
bored.
Yeah.
No, see, I don't believe in any of that because see, when I stayed at the Pfister Hotel, I almost welcomed it. You know, like I would get back from the bar or whatever. I'd get back in my room. I have a drink, and I'd light a candle, smoke a cigarette, and I'd wait for the ghost to come. They never came.
I don't think if you invite them, they come. I think they have to come on their own. By the way, the Vinoy in Tampa Bay, same thing.
Oh yeah.
That's supposed to be haunted too.
I always stayed in the newer part of the Vinoy
Of course
because
you
of
did.
that.
No, of course you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all of us can stay in the high rent district
Yeah.
that Jonathan Papelbon stayed in
Bougie.
with the suite, all bougie,
Bougie
and junk.
pap.
Man, I would have loved to have come in contact with a ghost though, but I don't believe in them.
I see him at like at our house. Like I don't know if maybe it's just because I'm senile or going insane.
Yeah.
But like I'll see like shadows, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, like people
No, that's
walking
called
around.
one too many glasses of red wine.
That could be it too. We do have a wine cellar. Maybe I should spend less time there.
I mean,
There you
it's-
go. I bet you there's a lot of ghosts in that wine cellar.
Yeah, I want to get all these stories on record. I want to start talking to players that have had paranormal activity happen when they're staying in Milwaukee at the Pfister. That's my next project.
There you go.
Meanwhile, Cy Young Cervale
Savale.
is pitching.
Yeah.
By the way, he's
Carving 'em up.
a masked kid, right? Went to Northeastern.
Did
Northeastern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he grew up 90 minutes from Fenway.
Where did he grow up?
He resided in Massachusetts in the off-season ever since his college days. I don't know what city he grew up in. I'm sure our crack statisticians can find that out. But
Let's see how smart our super
but
fan
he's
is.
a New England kid. He's a New England kid.
Let's see how smart our super fan is, Alana.
Okay.
I want to say,
Can
unless
you
I'm
name
confusing it with
East
Kluber.
Windsor, Connecticut.
East Windsor,
you-
Connecticut. Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Can you name?
Save that. Save that. We're
Okay.
going to break. We'll be right back,
I'll
Pat.
say that. Yeah, let's call
Write
it
it down so it stays in your brain.
It's called a tease. All right, we are back. Alex Spear from the Boston Globe in the booth there with OB and Lou Merloni. All right, what do you see so far? I know. Oh, shoot. Well, you don't want to see that.
You don't want to see no leadoff walks or hit by pitches. I know that much.
No. He's gotten out of the minimal traffic he's had so far, though. He looks better than I thought he would.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
I mean,
he is. Yeah, he is. He's looking good. You know, he's able to use his four seam today, but you know, if he can't control his four seam and go to those the sweepers, his next best pitch, and be able to get outs in early counts, he's not going to be effective. See, that's got to be thrown for a strike.
Mm-hmm.
The velo looks good, though. I mean, I think that's kind of what I'm looking at, or one of the first things that I look at when a guy comes back from injury is how's the heater coming out, and velo looks good. They just need someone to step up. I mean, it's really the fact of the matter is they need someone to step up as that number two, and we're past a third of the way in, and we're still kind of waiting for someone to grab that brass ring, and I wouldn't rule out Fitz from being that guy. I mean, I think multiple conversations have been had about who would slot behind Garrett Crochet, and Fitz's name hasn't been mentioned, but he's been nothing but solid since he's been called up.
Jaron. Oh, nice
snow
catch.
cone!
What a play!
Oh, I need to see that replay. I think he snow coned that.
This kid just does he's a ball player.
He is.
He just plays hard. He reminds me of Chase Utley in the outfield. Am I allowed to say that?
I love that analogy.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
analogy.
you, Pap. See?
Chase Utley, Jaron's just like meathead. He's like, I lift weights, I eat breakfast sandwiches, I hit
I know
baseballs,
that Chase
I
does
run
it. I mean, the
fast.
guy doesn't even eat dairy. But the point is, like, Chase is just a ball player, and so is Jaron.
He is. He lives and breathes
Yeah, and
it.
you know the thing about that, Alanna, is when you have ball players, you can move them to multiple positions, and they can play multiple positions. That's what a ball player is, in my opinion.
Well, he's a natural infielder.
Yeah, but now playing the outfield and left field and center field when St. Ann needs a rest.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the way he goes about his business. I really do.
He's all about it. He's all in. He's a very special player.
But you know, well, like we were talking earlier, Fitz has got to have early count action. And what I mean
first pitch
by that
strikes,
is,
right?
yeah, first pitch strikes, and whether or not it's his heater or a breaking ball, it looks like he's going in here with a sweeper or slider, same thing. Which I don't understand the difference between a slider and a sweeper anymore.
I don't know why we have to keep changing names, but whatever.
Yeah. But, you know, the thing is you got to be able to throw your secondary for strikes. And if you can't do that, we're going to be looking at this 4 2/3 dive. But hopefully you can get back in the count.
Yeah.
Not like that.
All right. Now we got to see him work.
The thing is, though, is you're only ground ball away here. And so, you know, like the next guy is going to come up hacking. Like, you know, this guy's going to come up here swinging. So present something in the zone and make him swing at a bad pitch and get him to ground ball, double play, and you're out of it. Now, I know that's a lot easier said than done, but the focus has to be on that. What I mean by is what they're talking about right now. Hey, if we get ahead of him right here, we're going to do this. If we fall behind, we're going to do this. But the ultimate objective is get a ball on the ground right here. That's a good mound visit right there. That's a very smart mound visit with a young pitcher on the mound still. Keep them cool, calm, and collective. Hey, we're still going to be able to get out of this.
Did mound visits ever bother you, Pat?
Mound visits did bother me. They did. But I was in a different situation, though. You know,
Right.
It was we'll see what happens here. See, we can't fall behind immediately. Can't do that. But it was different because I was in the flow of the game and the adrenaline of the game. I didn't want any of that to be disrupted. And usually had a pretty good agreement with my coaches and my pitchers, my pitching coaches, because they would come to. I'd give them a little tug on my belt, and like they would know. Like I would say, hey, like come get me, come talk, let's give me a breather. But other than that, they kind of let me be for the most part.
Did you shake a lot of guys off?
I did in the beginning with Veritek, and then I soon realized not to shake Veritek because it seemed like every pitch I shook, I was giving up. But I also didn't. My biggest fear was going back into the dugout and being, man, I should have thrown the pitch that I wanted, not the pitch that was called. And so,
because ultimately you want the final say, right? You want to be the one that was either you threw the right pitch, or if you didn't, that's still on you.
Yeah, I did, Alanna. But at the end of the day, if the game was blown, the reporters weren't coming to ask the catcher about it.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. What had just happened there? Foul ball?
Yeah.
It's foul ball. Okay.
What do you think about personal catchers now?
Oh, I like it. Most people might think that I don't, but I'll say that I like it because the game has become so specific now that you can do it, I think. But back in the day, it was pretty much whoever was hitting and can control the run game and a pitching staff. That was who played.
Right, exactly.
You've got to give me some hard data to have a personal catcher. Like, you've got to be an ace. You've got to have, enough data to show me it is a huge difference when you throw to this guy compared to that guy. Or you have to be Tim Wakefield and you have Doug Mirabelli. That's it. I mean, other than that, I've got to have some solid numbers to back that up.
Jason Veritek hated catching Wakefield, man.
Dude, in the playoffs in 2004, I felt so bad for Tech. I felt bad for Wake because he felt bad for Tech, and you could feel all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank God for Doug Mirabelli.
Some of the rookie hazing in spring training would be get some of the rookies to play catch with Tim Wakefield. And it was like off your shins. I mean, it was like nobody wanted to play catch with him.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
All right, still got a chance to get out of this, with the 2-2 punch out and 1-1 count now.
I feel
Another
confident,
action
Pat.
count.
If this were Bayo, I'm probably sweating a little bit right now. But Fitz.
Why? What's the difference for you?
Because I think when, well, here you go.
Okay.
We're getting out of the inning. We'll explain it when we get back. Don't want to jinx it.
Oh,
okay.
God. That was a little bit too much of a circus. All right, Narvaez up at the plate, the number 3 hitter for the Boston Red Sox here in the top of the 4th inning. Savali with 3 Ks so far, guys, on the day. This is a guy that doesn't have an unbelievable amount of velo, but he's getting the job done.
It's what he does. I mean, I thought, this would be a guy that, and we're watching the strikeouts here, but I thought that this would be a guy the Red Sox would be able to get to.
They still can.
They still can, but I mean, the longer this game goes, the more he settles in. Ball off the end of the bat here for an out. But, yeah, I think if they were going to put up a crooked number on him, I think it would have happened by now. I think it would have been early.
All right, let's bring in Casey once again, handling all things social media. Case, they're saying something about the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the order. What do you got?
Yeah, we got an extra opinion on the lineup. 4, 5, 6 should be Meyer, Campbell, and Abreu. They need to shake up the lineup more.
Is there truth to that, Pap? I mean, do you think they keep shaking it up, or do you leave it as it is? Or, we're always complaining that we're moving guys around all over the diamond. What if you're moving them all over up and down the lineup?
And why'd he laugh that hard?
Let me tell you something here, old James Roberts on Twitter. Look, they have shuffled up this lineup more than I ever expected them to shuffle up this lineup. And for you to think that Meyer's just going to come up here and hit in a 3 or 4 hole hitter and just be like, oh, I'm your new. No, that don't happen up in the show, kid. I'm sorry.
You do kind of get to a point, though, where you're like, what else can we do? You come into the season and you're 3, 4, 5, it's gone. It was Casas, Bregman, and Story. I mean, Story's as good as gone. So you're going to have to get creative at some point. That's a big part. That is the heart of your order, and you're essentially moving forward a month and a half in without it. Let me tell you something,
Carrabis. No World Series championship team. Okay.
Wait, hold that thought.
Right. See.
Well, that's going to do it for Fitz, who pitched well coming back from the IL. Bernardino now on the hill for your Boston Red Sox. And by the way, Tom Caron joining us, I should say. I hope you're enjoying us, but I know you're joining us. Pap over there, of course, in Mississippi. Jared Carrabis, Alanna Rizzo with you here on Unobstructed Views, brought to you by Blue Moon. And I think Fitz pitched better than I thought he was going to coming back.
Absolutely. I'm surprised he's not out for another inning, honestly.
I am too, actually.
I guess that was the plan.
So how many total pitches did we give him here?
What was it, like 50?
Oh, look.
50, he ended up in the 50s.
44, Pat.
44.
Oh, 44, yeah. See?
My guess was 80, but obviously they had a different plan.
Well, he only threw 32 in Portland, so I figured 50. But I would have liked, yeah, there it is. I would have liked to see him go 55, maybe get another inning out of him. It's just so much bullpen work.
It's too much.
TC, I'm just glad to get you on the show finally, man. Get you out of that rain, man. You were starting to melt.
Dude, I've never seen a weekend like that. Have you? I've seen a lot of rainouts in my day, and it's always when you're here, Pep. But we had the doubleheader Friday or Friday, right? And the second game was rained down. Then he had a doubleheader again Saturday, and then it just poured for 10 minutes right after I got out. You've done this. You've been a sideline reporter.
I mean,
you get in that little thing, and it's pouring. And now I'm soaked, and I know we have at least 17 more innings to go today.
Yeah, I don't miss that.
And Pap's up there ordering the seafood tower from Abe and Louie's. And he's got him turning up the heat. He's like, hey, it's a little cold up here. Could you guys turn the heat up a little bit?
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't miss about being a sideline reporter is that. You know
Yeah,
what you didn't have to deal with
Alanna. I catch a lot of hell, but you know what? It's even better when the Hall of Famer Jim Rice is in town. We eat even better.
I'm sure.
But look, I got one gripe I need to pick with NESN, okay? Tom Karen has got all the good-looking jackets and all the good-looking paraphernalia from NESN. I got none of it, okay? So
you have a World Series trophy and a
Mississippi.
ring.
Well, I got that too. And I didn't have to do anything for it. I just watched them play. I know, but so my sources tell me, Pap, that they had to make a special delivery of some clothing for you the other day to get you what you needed for the pregame show.
Yeah, I did. Thank you to Eastern Clothing. They're not a sponsor of this show yet, but we're going to get them on a sponsor too.
You got beer, you got clothes, you can be all set.
Yeah.
Was there a wardrobe malfunction that happened with Jonathan?
Don't even get me going on the wardrobe thing. Every time a new analyst comes in, we got to have a text conversation about what do we wear.
Okay.
So I finally went to Ness and said, listen, I don't care if we're wearing tank tops. Can we just make a policy so that when Devin Marrero comes in next week, I don't have to start from scratch about what we're wearing.
Yeah.
So they put a policy in place. Night games, you wear a coat and a shirt. Day games, you can wear a polo or a zip-up.
Quarter zip.
But then Jim threw in that Sunday you got to wear your Sunday best because you go to church on Sunday. So, all right, so we're back to go. Whatever, it all got laid out. Day one, Pap's got it right. Middlebrooks has it completely wrong. So nobody had. Now they got clothes rushing over from NESN to Fenway Park. It's just babysitting.
Yeah,
I mean, half of this job is babysitting.
It really is.
I got to tell you, TC, Devin Marrero, very bougie.
Oh, yeah. He outdresses everybody.
This man is in Milan, and he's getting all these outfits, and they're all tailored. And yeah, he's
serious about it.
He's married to a billionaire.
Yeah. He's in fashion.
He's
like
living
a fashion magnate.
Yeah, he's living a good life right now. But
I literally text him, and he doesn't answer. And then you get mad. And you text him again. You're like, dude, why don't you? Sorry, I'm in Monaco.
What?
And I'm like, oh, my bad.
Wow, Steve's
He's a world traveler now.
Hey, TC, I do like the Sunday best rule with Jim. I mean, I feel like, Sunday you got to look clean too,
I'm with you. No, I'm there. I just don't want to have this conversation every time.
25 times every time the door rotates.
That's fair. We're going to get out of this thing right here.
TC's staying with us.
There
you go.
We'll be back right after this.
Hey, that's my line.
Sorry.
All right, TC, we were having this conversation about whether Marcelo Meyer and Vinny Chase or Adrian Griner look like each other. Jared swears by it. Pap and I say absolutely not. So your take on
I'm with
is
Jared.
Just get out of here.
Yeah.
Ball down.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Vinny
Fair
Chase can't hit like
Let's
that.
go,
though.
Vinny.
Go. All right. Stand up double for not Vinny Chase.
Certainly doesn't run like a turtle.
No, he does not
You know what
run
I mean?
like Turtle or E either.
Thank you.
But I don't know. I just don't see it.
See, and I will say this: I think he looks less like him than he used to. Like we first met Meyer like 2 years ago when he was like 19. I thought he really.
Carrabis just said if there was an Entourage 2 and Marcelo Meyer was on the red carpet, people would mistake him for Vinny Chase. And
They
both
would.
Casey and I said maybe dudes would, but women would not.
If he had, he
Hey.
needs the stubble. He needs the stubble.
TC,
Yo,
if he keeps hitting doubles like that in the big leagues, he's going to be sexier than Vinny.
that's right. That's right. People can say Vinny Chase looks like Marcelo
There
Meyer.
you go.
That's the way
That's
that
right.
works. You got to
I
grow
like
the hair
it
back
with the
out. His
leadoff
hair used to
double.
be longer. His hair used to be longer. This guy can hit. Listen, anybody who's in Florida will tell you he was the Red Sox best player at spring training. Not best prospect. He was their best player at spring training. And he wasn't happy that he didn't make the team out of camp. I love that.
Well, that's what you want, right? You
Right.
want them to be upset about it. How do we get Trevor Story going?
Jim Rice was interested in the pregame show, talking about getting jammed, like let him get jammed. He's out in front of it, so it's not happening. Let the ball come in a little to you. It's something, right? Something.
I was saying earlier, to that point, sometimes getting jammed in a blue pit will get you going,
Right?
and that's what he needs. He needs to get a little jam shot blue pit, reset his balance point, reset his swing. It gets his A swing. Right now, he's not getting to his A swing.
He's not getting his B
DC
swing right now.
Marcelo Meyer has more hits since being called up over the weekend than Trevor Story has over the last month.
Oh.
That's like
So
not
we'll
even
talk
like
about
a
this
poke.
as well.
That's true.
So TC, is this the end all of Trevor Story, or do we see what
He's
what
owed
do you
$50
see?
million the next 2 years.
What do you see the outlook on this?
Well, you're seeing too much of this. And you can't, he's not a utility guy.
No.
Love this. Get in there, don't love that.
He's out.
I don't mind the aggressiveness, though. They're not scoring, they're not moving. I don't hate it. He might hate
Yeah,
it.
they're pushing the envelope a little bit to try
He
to
didn't
push
go
a
on
run
his own,
across
did
the
he?
board.
He couldn't have.
There's
I
no
doubt it.
way.
Fourth game?
There's no way.
No, he's not a burner.
No. Him coming in,
So TC, back
Shout
to the
out
question.
BC, by
Don't
the way.
avoid the question, TC.
Yeah, no, I think we're seeing the end of it. I mean, I hate to say it because I didn't see it coming. The little bit we saw between the injuries, I thought, man, you give this guy a couple healthy months, he'll be swinging that right-handed swing at Fenway Park. He'll eat up the wall. Man, it just looks like he got old, didn't he?
I'm just not ready to give up on him yet.
You can't. I mean, it's really hard to walk away from that money. So the guy gets the opportunity to work his way out of it, but how long does he get? I mean, I don't think we're there yet, but you got to
Well,
be
if you're in the
thinking about
Carrabis
it.
camp, you were there a week and a half ago.
Well, because you have Roman Anthony, who's got to figure out a way to get back up. And if that means Rafaela comes into the infield, you move Duran to center field, then you put...
I mean, Frelick looks more like Vinny Chase
the
than
play,
Marcelo
TC.
Meyer
He's
does.
speaking my language.
That is the play.
finally.
I mean, that is
That's
the play right now. Because he hit another one 115 miles an hour tonight.
So TC and Carrabis both think that Roman Anthony is going to be here before the trade deadline or before
And then you have
September
three.
call-up.
And then you have
Before
three
the
rookies.
All-Star break.
That's
Three
a
rookies
completely
in your
different
starting
conversation.
lineup.
You're asking me if I trust them to actually pull the trigger on this? No. But is that what I would do tomorrow morning? Is that what I would have done a week ago? Yeah.
Listen, the team needs a spark. So
I
you can
thought
bring the best.
Marcelo Meyer was supposed
He's
to be
a
their
spark. Now you got to light a fire.
And then
you
you have
light
three,
a fire
then
with
you
the
have-
best
then you have
prospect in
three
baseball.
rookie sparks.
Yes, you do.
That's fine with me.
That's fine.
I have
TC's
this
trying to
take-
get to a bonfire.
I want a
Let
big
me,
old bonfire. You got it.
Let me
We do that
run.
in Maine. You pile up the wood and then you light it on fire. Let's go.
I got to run
Well,
this
let's
take
go
by
take a
TC
little
now that he's
time there,
here.
TC.
Actually, there's two
All right,
outs,
hurry.
2 strikes. Yeah, I
He's
know.
not coming back.
I'll text it to you if we can.
What's that?
I said I would rather call up the kids and watch them play, not knowing what's going to happen, than continue to run it out there in a 500 team.
Veterans
it
at
back.
500 or rookies at 400?
veterans more often than not, but not this year. Not this year.
Weissert on the Hill for the Red Sox at this point. We welcome you back to Unobstructed Views here on NESN Plus. Alanna Rizzo, Jonathan Papelbon, Jared Carrabis. It's brought to you by Blue Moon. Jared and I, and when TC was here, we're on the Jordan's Furniture chairs now. This is a game in which it's about an hour and 10 in, Carrabis. Nobody is scoring, so here we are in the bottom of the fifth.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that this is happening. I think it's more so, going back to the conversation that we had at the start of the game where we asked Pap for his predictions on what Fitz was going to do. I thought it was a 5 and dive situation. I'd be happy with that. I think there was like a, is he going to complete 5? And we get 3 innings. So now we're in another position where poor Brendan Bernardino, the guy pitches every single day. We deployed him in this game as well. And you're asking for your bullpen to not save you, but to
hold.
To give you the bulk innings of a baseball game. I want to say the Red Sox bullpen has 5 more innings than any other bullpen in baseball. Like these guys have gotten in their work to start the year. And there's been some changes here and there. Like you've had some fresh arms interjected, but for the most part, you're talking about the same group of guys, like minus a guy here, a guy there. But like this is the same group of guys that's been asked to give you a lot of innings and record a lot of outs.
And Pap, you know what it's like coming out of that bullpen better than anybody. That's going to wear on them. And let's just say they do figure this out and they do get into the postseason. That's probably when it's going to rear its ugly head.
Yeah, well, Alanna, they're not going to get into the playoffs as this continues. This is absolutely unsustainable. I can only see them sustaining this for another couple of weeks at the most. Every time I look up, Weissert or Bernardino's coming in the 5th or even in the 4th or 5th. So
they just traded their long man, like Sean Newcomb,
right?
Just
Isn't
got
he with the A's
to the
now?
A's, yeah.
Yeah, well, and Whitlock is only supposed to pitch 2, and they're only allowing him max 2 innings. So it's not going to work. It's not going to sustain. And by trade deadline, they're going to have to go probably revamp this bullpen because if it keeps up like this, they're going to have guys hurt. Weissert's thrown, I can't tell you how many, I think 6 of the last 8 games, which is a little fun fact for you. Weissert is German for one who paints, if you knew that.
What? One who paints?
Yes.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Weissert.
Here's the problem, though. Everybody and their mother, including contending teams, is going to be looking for bullpen help. That's a problem. It's not like there's going to be a billion relieving arms out there.
So I think when we think back to last season, I think we all remember that was a 500 team. It's a 500 team. But at the trade deadline, going into the All-Star break, rather, they were 10 games over 500. So Craig Breslow is like, all right, if you can get me 10 games over, like we're in this thing, I'll get you some reinforcements. But currently the Red Sox are what, 2 games under 500? If that continues, if you can't dig yourself out of this, they're going to roll into the trade deadline, and Breslow's going to look at this and say, this has been a 500 team all year. Yes, there have been some injuries. Yes, Bregman's going to be out for 2 months, call it, maybe more. Yes, you lose Casas for the year. Buehler's hit the injured list. Fine, you've had some injuries, but the talent during spring training, going into the season, we were talking about division winner. We weren't talking like, are they going to make the playoffs or not? We were talking maybe winning the division. So just making the third wild card was the floor of what the expectations were. If they're a couple games below 500 come trade deadline time, I'm not going to give up valuable assets to save a sinking ship. I'm not doing it.
That's not happening though. Like here's the thing: is they're not going to go out and make a big splash come trade deadline. I can promise you that. Even if they are in it, they're looking at this like, we've spent our money. This was our season. We have injuries, yeah, but they're going to look like, oh, we're going to get Bregman back here in 60, 70 days probably, if all goes well. And, you know, hopefully he can help turn this ship around. But they're not going to be in no position where they're going to be able to say, oh, we're really good right now. Let's go make a monster splash in the trade deadline. That's not happening.
That's also under the impression that when Bregman returns, that he's the MVP caliber player that he was when he went down.
Or that the hole's not so big that he can help them sustain where they're at that point. I mean, what if they're 10 games under?
And here's another thing to think about too, is when Bregman comes back, if they're 15 games behind out of the division, they're not going to rush him back. They're just
I don't think they care about the division. It's the wild card at this point. You know, I think
part of the wild card, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be that far out. We'll be back.
All right, we're back. Looking like a very low-scoring game, obviously. No score so far in this one, top of the 6th inning. We were going to talk about what you guys were talking about on Section 10 in terms of catching a home run ball and throwing it back. We're going to wait until there's some offense.
We might be waiting a little while.
All right, go ahead then. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
No, let's go. No, let's
Hey,
go.
while we wait, I can ask Jared my superfan question.
Okay.
Please do.
About our Cy Young Savale here.
Yeah.
From Northeastern University.
Uh-huh.
Can you name 2 other Red Sox players that attended Northeastern University?
That would be 2005, actually the year that you debuted on July 31st, 2005, teammate of yours, Carlos Pena.
Holy crap.
Okay.
That would be one of them.
That would be one of them.
There's another one that I remember.
You guys, we have a guy in scoring position.
Yeah,
Sadon
until he
with a
gets
double.
thrown out at third base trying to tag up on a fly ball, like the last guy who just doubled. There's more than one red. What year? Give me the year.
2000 and I want to say 16-ish, 15-ish.
2015 or 16, Northeastern.
Oh, well,
I'll think about it during the break.
think about that. You got so lucky, you get a break to think about it. All right, you had time to think about it. And I can confirm he did not get on his phone, Pap. Do you have the second player from Northeastern besides Carlos Pena?
Well, here's what happened was Pap said it was either the 15 or 16 Red Sox.
Okay,
and
here,
I said,
I'm not
can
gonna
you at
give him
least
the year.
confirm the season? I was like, I
not
played this
giving him
game
the
with
year.
I played this game with my dad.
He feels like it's going to give it away.
I'll tell you this much. He came from the New York Yankees to the Red Sox. How about that?
Babe Ruth.
He came from the Yankees. And
He played for the Yankees, then played for the Red Sox, and then he played for the Mets, actually. I'll give you even
boy.
that one.
I mean, Adam Ottavino is the first name that came to mind, but there's no way he went to Northeastern.
Adam Ottavino it is. Adam
Is it really?
Ottavino it is. Yeah,
Why was there no way?
He doesn't. I mean, he doesn't seem like a Northeastern guy.
He was born in Brooklyn,
I
went
didn't
to
know that.
I
Northeastern.
mean, he's
I did not
born
know
and
that.
raised in New York.
That's what I was saying. Like he grew up a Yankee fan in my head.
Yeah, he did. You're right.
So Northeastern, I never would have made the connection. That reminds me, humble brag. I have to text him back. We gotta talk shop. Me and Adam Ottavino. We're gonna get him over to the content creation side of the world. Now
Oh, yeah, he wants to get into broadcasting.
Yep. Hey, I just saw him on MLB Network.
He was just on
Yeah.
He looked sharp in his
Yep.
suit.
Yep, did a good job. He's
Yeah.
talking Juan Soto. Did not know that he went to Northeastern though. But I didn't look it up. Don't look it up.
No, you did a good job.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Don't hate it.
You can keep your super fan status.
Thank you. And now, anytime that I go to Fenway now, I will get people being like, Is that the Superfan? Oh my God.
Where did Jerry
Hey, look.
Superfan come from?
I mean, literally from the commercial of this show.
So it's taken off that quickly?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. It was the commercial for this show, and it said like Alanna Rizzo, Emmy Award winner, Jonathan Papelbon, World Series champion, and Jared Carrabis, Superfan. And we did a segment on Section 10 about it, and I was like, could we have done podcaster? Like, there's a few things that we could have ran through, but we got Superfan, and now like I get that. If I'm at Fenway, I will get. There was a girl. Her name was Kendra. I was pulling out of the garage that I park at, and she was wearing a Section 10 jersey, and I was like, "Hey, love your Section 10 jersey," and she's like, "Thanks." Is that Jerry Superfan? Oh my God.
Super.
Yeah. So that's definitely taken off around the old ball yard. Yeah. I don't hate it.
Another unproductive at bat right there with Jarren Duran, which surprises me because
Another? That's disingenuous, Pap. He's been on fire. He's in like 455 the last few weeks.
I say it surprises me, as in it actually does. I wasn't being sarcastic because he's usually our fire starter, our igniter. I mean, shoot, you look at him the other day, he had 4 or 5 hits against Baltimore.
It was 4 for 5 that day.
Yeah, usually when this guy goes, we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we're not going, so that makes sense. We haven't gone in a little bit now.
Are we stuck in neutral?
We got to have
Kinda.
just the productivity in the at bats are just what's killing us. And you can't put a lineup has to put at bats together in order to put a run across the board. So one bat translates into the next. And it just is not happening with their lineup right now.
No, it's certainly not. And
it seems like they lack fire. And I know that they don't lack effort. I just feel like I wish that there was a little bit more anger.
Yeah, there's just not that. It's just they don't have the firepower. I mean, Duran's caught fire recently. Rafi's been hot basically since the calendar turned to April. I know he started off whatever it was, 0 for 19, 15 strikeouts, but he's been one of the best hitters in baseball since then. You're down Bregman, and this lineup basically is Rafi Devers and Duran when he can get on base. But Meyer, I think, is going to at least help that a little bit. He's been a guy that he's not going to hit a ton of homers, but he's got pop. Like he's going to hit you doubles. He's going to get on base. He can walk. So he does help in that regard. But outside of that, it's looking a little bleak.
Yeah, you don't see that fire though. You don't see that get pissed off, which I think is a product of the game now. I mean, Alanna, like me and your husband played in an era where you see guys come and take the water coolers out, right? And there were that era of baseball, and there was almost like a sense of pride taken to every at bat. I think kids now
they don't care if they strike out now. It's like they couldn't care less.
And strikeouts have become part of the game with the philosophies and way they teach. It's okay to strike out, and I think a lot of that has changed the game.
Yeah.
I mean, tell that to the dugout phone that Cora just punched off the hinges the other day.
Yeah, but that was Cora. That wasn't
Cora.
A player.
I know, old school.
Yeah.
He's old school.
Well, that was.
All right, we got 2 outs. We need a 2-out knock.
I mean, I love our chances with Carlos Narvaez at the plate, though. I mean, the fact that, you have a 26-year-old rookie who has made his way into the 3 and 4 spot. It's a compliment to him, but it's also telling about the rest of the lineup. Yes, he deserves the shot given the circumstances. He's been outstanding offensively and defensively. He's been one of the best rookies in baseball this year. But the fact that you've got, the fact that you have him.
Run, go! Hey, we'll take it. We will take it.
We'll take it.
By any means necessary.
Doesn't matter to me. Run's a run.
Say Don Raphael. Hey, look, that's what you need. You need guys.
That's an MVP play right there, Pat.
That is why I'm talking about productivity in at-bats. You don't know what's going to – they got the guy over third now. Look, a pass ball ends up scoring that guy. That's why the little tiny things in baseball matter. And, he's not the MVP I thought he would, but heads-up play here by Cedon to get there.
Also, how about credit to Rafael Devers for getting Rafaela over? Because, again, we're talking about the strikeouts and how they don't matter. It's a part of the game. If he punches out there, that's not a run.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
That is
the
called
little things
small
matter.
ball.
It's a productive out. Yeah, we like that. We like
And that's
productive
what
outs.
I'm able to get to scratch what we used to call scratch a run across the board. That's what they're having to do right now. They're not being able to go out there and bop in 3 or 4 at a time. They got to scratch runs across.
Yeah, to your point earlier, this is not like hitting's contagious and all that, but I don't know that that this lineup is going to get infected with the hitting bug very much, as they've displayed pretty much since Bregman has gone
Well,
down.
we have an opportunity here to do something.
By the way, I love Garrett Crochet, the dugout guy. Fierce competitor on his start day, but it's very similar to Pedro Martinez, where on the days where he's not on the bump, he is an electric, entertaining dugout
And
guy.
happy.
Yes. Yeah, you need to keep the boys loose. You need that guy that's going to keep the boys loose, and Crochet's been that guy on his non-start days.
That's a good point. That permeates throughout the dugout. There's no question about that. You know, those times when those starters are out there and they really don't have to be, it says something about them. It really does. I used to love it when I'd walk out to the bullpen to get ready to go out there and I'd see all the starters there talking shop, trying to maybe pick up some, like a tip or something, or somebody is a pitcher tipping or the pick up signs. There's always something somebody can be doing on that bench to help the team win. It doesn't matter if you're playing in the game. You can pick up signals and tips and all kind of things throughout the game.
I think it also matters that he is who he is, and he's the loose dugout guy. Because if you're a role player that's hitting $114 and you're goofing off on the bench, it's not going to make everyone else feel loose. It's more like, dude, stop doing that. Like, it's not good right now. But a guy like Garrett Crochet, you're the ace of the staff. You're also a mammoth of a human being. Like, no one's going to tell him no.
Well, you can take a page out of his book. I mean, if he can be that competitive and he's that good and he is basically everything to your team right now, and he acts like that, then it almost feels like gives the rest of the group permission to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, he can be the class clown.
He is definitely by far beyond the leader of the starting staff.
Oh, no question. Oh.
All right.
Okay. Well, we got one. Take it however you can get it.
Scratched it.
So in the middle of the 6th inning at now American Family Field, they do the sausage race, right? Because obviously brats and stuff in Milwaukee are popular. Well, the year that CC Sabathia made his first start as a Brewer, remember when they got him as a rental?
2008.
Okay. All right, Rain Man. I ran that race. I wanted to be the chorizo, but the hat is so heavy, like the head on that thing is so heavy that they're like, you're not going to be able to hold it up. You can be the hot dog. So I was the hot dog. You guys, that thing is like someone is standing on your shoulders. There is no peripheral view at all. You can only look like this. If you go too far forward, you fall forward. If you go too far back, you fall all the way back. They were all the way around home plate. They had already taken the left going down the first base side. I'm barely by, I was covering the Rockies at the time. I'm barely by the visiting dugout. I literally and figuratively got smoked. They were already in the tunnel taking off their costumes when I'm finally like making my way around. I was so flippin' embarrassed.
I was the hot dog in the hot dog race last summer, the Kansas City Royals game. And I was physically assaulted.
By Randall Simon?
It was another hot dog that put his hands on me and threw me to the ground. Yes. What? It was maybe 5. There's video of this. There's maybe 5 seconds after the race had started, and I was shoved into the wall, and that's because
Did the person know you?
Yes, it was Coley from Section 10.
Oh well, all right. That's
well, that explains it all.
But yeah. Coley is, I don't know if you know Coley, he's 7 feet tall. So he looks like, if a mascot was a human being, it's Coley. That's what he looks like. So trying to put him inside of a hot dog and then having that hot dog put his hands on me like that, of course I didn't win.
Yeah.
I was interfered with.
Well, I didn't win because I was slow. And by the way, they give you no grace as a visitor. I mean, these people run this race every day. And I thought it would be a great idea to run it. Oh, I was sorely, sorely mistaken.
It's basically like running with someone on your shoulders,
It is. It's running with someone on your shoulders and trying to keep them upright as you're trying to run and you can only see forward. So try taking a turn with like Gunner standing on your shoulders.
Yeah. Oh,
Doesn't
man.
work.
I'm going to give it up for Weissy right now. One who paints. He's out there painting for sure. Blue pit.
Oh,
I had to
no.
say something. I had to say something.
Yeah, you did. Oh, mercy.
Oh, God. Freaking say, Don, keep that ball in front of you. See, those are the little things that I keep talking about. It drives you crazy because
that's when the
base.
youth just shows up.
Yeah, you got to keep this ball in front. I love the effort, but then you got to break down. You've got to be able to break down and keep that ball in front of you and keep the man at first base. That's as elementary as it gets.
That's Pap's MVP right there.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I can't get on Sedon for his defense. I mean, he's been outstanding defensively pretty much since he got called up to the big leagues. Like if he's going to get any criticism, it's obviously his approach at the plate. But defensively, he's been outstanding. That was a play that just can't happen.
Can't make those mistakes.
Knows that. He knows that.
Yeah, I'll further talk about his plate approach, but I know I said it could be an MVP, and I still believe the kid can be an MVP, but there are some things that have to change. Number one, he's got to put on some weight and start hitting home runs, and number two, his plate discipline early in the account especially has got to change. I think that every time I look up or I'm watching him or we're doing a game, you look up and Sedon's 0-2 already.
That's because he swings at everything.
Yeah.
There was an at-bat the other day that ball was like 8 inches inside. He's up there hacking at it. I mean, it's okay to take a pitch once in a while.
Again, these are all things that probably are better served learning in the minor leagues.
I would agree.
You're exactly right, Alanna.
There you go. That's a productive out for the Brew Crew.
Yeah. Yeah, but Weisser, has come in. I can't tell. I think.
All right.
We'll stand by.
Cora's gonna go get what is he called in German?
Weisser, one who paints in German.
One who paints. Decent outing. One who paints. We'll be right back. Well, Milwaukee has an opportunity to tie things up here. Hopefully they do not do that. New pitcher on the hill for the Boston Red Sox. Wilson's out there now. I mean, Pap, I want to go back to something you were saying earlier. I realize that the Red Sox are on defense right now, but you were talking about piecing. The lineup needs to piece hits together, right? And in order to do that, how much of it is continuity within that lineup? Because we were talking about when Casey brought up that tweet about changing up the order a little bit. Don't you have to have continuity in a lineup to be able to get comfortable to kind of piece together those at-bats?
Yeah, Alanna, see, that's why you're the number one girl in baseball. You know these types of things. I mean, it is – you cannot have a successful lineup without doing the little things from one at-bat to another. Does that necessarily mean getting a hit? No, it doesn't. It means moving a guy over, maybe taking a few extra pitches so that the rest of the guys on the bench can see what this pitcher's got, whether it's a reliever or a starter. But you're right. When you don't have consistency in your lineup, you got Narvi batting 3 today. He has been batting in the 4-hole, which I thought he was doing okay. You've been moving Saydon between 8 and 9. You don't have protection for Devers now. You're trying to find a spot for Campbell. All of those things matter.
Would this surprise you if I told you that on average, the Red Sox hitters see an average of 3.88 pitches per game?
No.
You know what the league average is?
Probably like low 5s, high 4s.
3.88.
Oh, really?
Red Sox are 17th in terms of amount of pitches that they see per at-bat.
Yeah, I mean, the chase guys are Story and Saydon. Devers, he's going to see some pitches. Duran's going to be a tough at bat. You know, he's fighting up there. He's fouling stuff off. But then you have like the rookies, and it's like we don't really have like a true database on what their tendencies are. You know, a guy like Christian Campbell is fighting through a slump here, and I think Pap, you can probably speak to this, but you know, guys are different with how they get out of slumps. Some guys are up there. They are. They're trying to see some pitches because it's like, I don't want to go up there and strike out on 3 because it feels like I'm going to do that if I'm slumping. Other guys are going to go up there and say, I'm swinging at the first pitch no matter what it is, where it is, because I'm just trying to get out of this thing as fast as I can. So the guy, that's where we're at with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys are slumping tremendously hard, and we're seeing all different kinds of philosophies and approaches at the plate in order to get out of that. None of it's working, by the way.
Well, mostly for the young guys, it's go up there and hack and try to get the first good pitch I see, because I'm afraid to get to the pitcher's out pitch. I don't want to get to that pitcher's out pitch, so I'm going to go up there and try and swing at the first best one I see. Well, in the big leagues, guess what you're going to see? You're going to see nothing but trash, because they're good enough to know that.
I think the perfect example on how you handle this is look at what happened to Rafael Devers. Like, Rafael Devers was 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts. Couldn't hit a fastball to save his life, but he was still taking his walks. He wasn't up there expanding the zone. He wasn't up there swinging at pitches that were unhittable, you know, and he's continued that. It's almost like, you know, he's on pace to have the best on-base percentage of his entire career right now because of his approach.
All right, we'll talk about that coming back. No protection in the lineup for Devers and TC and Jim Rice. We're talking about whether he's going to get 120 walks this year.
Ooh.
All right, we're back. Top of the 7th here. So you were talking about being a hot dog. I think we have visual evidence that you are not lying. Did he just get hit?
No. I don't think so.
No.
But I did when I was a hot dog.
Did you now? That's right. You got accosted, you said.
Yes, I did. I was physically assaulted by the man standing behind me in the photo, Coley Mick. And yeah, you know, it's one of those things that you can't get back your first hot dog race. You only have one first time.
I
as a
don't
hot
want
dog.
my first one back.
I don't know that I would ever do it again. I'm lying. I'm lying. I would definitely do it if like the Brewers asked me to do it. But in Kansas City, being a hot dog in the summer in Kansas City, no one wants that. That's.
I mean, y'all got me, like, if I ever get asked, like, I'm probably going to say no now.
It's a lot, man. It's not for the physically incapable. Like if you don't have that endurance, if you don't have that like extra gear, if you don't have that mental toughness, being a hot dog is not for you.
If you're not a shape, and if you're out of shape, you could do it. You could do.
I've got endurance. I've got endurance. I've got mental toughness.
Got endurance.
Yeah, it's not for the weak.
No,
I'll tell you that.
Not. No.
It's very embarrassing too in a stadium full of people on CC Sabathia's debut.
There's no fans in there either. I mean, like I feel for these mascots out there. At least if you're a hot dog, they cut out your face so you can breathe oxygen. But
yeah, I try to stay away from Wally
like
mid-summertime.
Oh no, like fans for cooling. And like shout out to some of these mascots, not to break the fourth wall. But, you know, I've talked to some mascots in my day, and they're like, nope, we are just in there, just doing it for the love of the mascot.
All right, is Vinny Chase going to get his first home run of his big league career?
He might. I don't know. I mean, I don't expect, especially lefty. He did hit a homer off a lefty in AAA a few weeks ago, and that was encouraging. That was kind of like probably one of the boxes they were hoping to check before he got called up. I'm not looking homer here, but.
So one home run off a left-hander, and they're like, all right, you're good, come on up.
Okay, little drop piece, get down, all right.
Okay.
Hey, Marcel Meyer. That's my guy,
Hey,
Pat.
he's living right. Kid's
That's my
living
guy.
right.
International sex symbol, Marcel Meyer. He is.
Wow.
He is.
International now?
I believe
he just
so.
got elevated?
They're watching him in Japan, I believe. I have reason to believe that.
Why?
This is guy. Hey, they're guys
Just
now.
a gut feeling. You know? Look at this
They're
guy.
boys now.
No undershirt.
I can tell you that the Dodgers are playing and Ohtani's playing right now. That's who Japan is watching. They're not watching Marcelo.
They're popping over for some Meyer. They're popping over for a little bit of that.
He loves him, Pap. He loves him.
He's going no undershirt, but full button to the top. I think if you're going to go no undershirt, correct me if I'm wrong, Pat, but you got to pop the top a little bit, maybe 1-2 buttons.
We're talking about Story here?
Yeah, I was going to say, Story used to do that.
Meyer. I'm talking Meyer here because if you're going to go no undershirt, what's the point of doing that unless you're popping the top a little bit?
I'm not really keen into all that. I was strictly an undershirt guy just because I didn't want my nipples to get raw.
You were a turtleneck guy sometimes.
I was a big time undershirt guy because my nipples, I didn't want them getting raw. I wanted them fresh.
Right. No, I feel you on that.
You got to put some powder and some Vaseline on there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I did use the Dustin Pedroia Vaseline method of coating your whole body in Vaseline before.
Yes. I believe Uke was also a Vaseline guy.
Your whole body?
To stay warm.
Yeah.
They put Vaseline on their entire bodies to stay warm, capture the warmth inside your body.
Yeah, it keeps you warm, number one, and number two, prevents any kind of chafing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a tremendous amount of Vaseline that's being used then.
No doubt. I mean, they probably had a Vaseline sponsor. Also,
did he?
Yeah, him as well. There was
come on, that's funny.
A guy that was that you were compared to, Pap, Roger Clemens. He was a big icy hot guy, but he used to put it below
the tank.
Yes, he used to put it below the belt because he never wanted to feel comfortable on the mound, is what he said.
That
Really?
is also, I cannot confirm or deny that I've seen that, but I've heard that, yes.
Yes. I think he's talked about it publicly.
Why wouldn't you want to feel comfortable, though? I would think you'd want to feel comfortable.
I think if you're comfortable on the mound, now I'm getting complacent. Now maybe I'm feeling too good out there. Maybe I'm making a pitch that I wouldn't have made if I was tense and I was angry.
But wouldn't you, if you're uncomfortable, wouldn't you be thinking about the discomfort and that takes
I
away.
will tell you this, Alanna. I have had the Red Hot accidentally touch that area, and I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you don't for me to fathom what was going on, him trying to still pitch with that. Oh.
You ever use Tiger Bomb, Pap?
No, I use the Kramer G6 stuff, hot stuff, but normally it was just on my arm or my shoulder or neck. But
Is Tiger Bomb the same thing as like Icy Hot or Bengay or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much
yes,
all
but it's
the
only
same
the
stuff.
hot.
Oh,
I did have a guy in my bullpen one time. I don't know if I should say his name. Maybe. Well, his name was Julian Tavares. And he was kind of an animal, but he would eat the Red Hot Kramer G6 because he thought that if he ate it, it would heat his body from within.
oh my gosh. Come on, man.
He's a strange
That's
cat.
special.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I ran into him a couple of summers ago. We were shooting an episode of Like a Pro for NESN, and the episode was Bronson Arroyo was teaching me how to play one of his songs, and then he had a show that night. So we went to like the sound check, played a song with Bronson, went to his gig later that night, and who walks in the door, unannounced, unplanned, unbeknownst to Bronson himself, but here comes Julian Tavares. And we were just like, there's no way. Is that actually? And lo and behold, here he is just in the middle of a dive bar venue, just rocking out to some Bronson Arroyo cover
On purpose?
songs. Yeah.
Like he just went to go see him?
I mean, I can't actually answer that in 100% certainty. He might have just, there could have been a
Randomly
coincidence.
been there?
Yeah.
By the way, Trevor Story just struck out.
I tell you,
Did
he might have been in court in Boston because everywhere we went, he was always going to court for some child support or something. He has like 8 kids, and every time we were in a city, I'm like, "Hey, you want to go get lunch?" Nah, man, I got to go to court. I got a kid here in this city.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That ain't what you want to hear.
Yeah, no. Speaking of that, your final season in Boston, Pap, 2011, we were just talking about Eric Bedard, and there was like some story. He got served with papers, and the dude who served him with papers was wearing a Yankee T-shirt.
Oh.
And it's like, you did that on purpose.
Of course you did.
You knew that you were coming to do this today. You knew that this guy was on the Red Sox. And not to bring up, hard times or anything, it was in September, which that month was a historic collapse for the Red Sox that year. So it's like, things aren't going well for the team. You got
Things are really not going well for Bedard.
Right, things aren't going well for Bedard. Dude puts on his Yankee
That
T-shirt.
seems a little unprofessional, if you will.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
And speaking of unprofessional, we'll be back. right, we got some Boston fans there in Milwaukee. And for those of you clamoring for more Roman Anthony and the long ball, like Jared Carrabis is, second pitch of the game, he goes deep again.
116 off the bat.
116 off the bat.
Yeah.
Jared wants him up here immediately.
Clearly not ready yet.
Not ready.
No. No.
I mean, again, it's not big league pitching, but you like to see him having success there, obviously.
I like to see the under the hood stuff and exit velocity, barrel rate, all that. His baseball savant page is Dante's Inferno. It's all red. It's as red as his jersey as he's rounding the bases after hitting yet another home run. But no, I could totally see why you would want to wait longer for him to get called up. I can totally see that, yeah.
Lies, lies, lies. Taking a page out of Morgan Wallen's new album. Pap.
It's a good song.
It's a great song. Pap, bring him up, leave him down. What do you think?
You got to leave him here. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I know.
Jonathan.
I know you have a shiny new red Ferrari that you want to go out and take it and push it to 185 miles an hour, right?
The
But
team
guess
up
what?
here is a Honda Civic. What are we doing?
Guess what? Guess what? You don't want to wreck your brand new Ferrari.
That's what I think,
the first month in the big leagues, kid.
Oh, my God. Do you remember, by the way, Pap, when I think it was when the Red Sox started to bench Pablo Sandoval that his agent said, why are you going to leave the Ferrari in the garage?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah, that was
He
tough.
wasn't a Ferrari at that point anymore.
No, he was a trash truck. That was tough.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But to
Three-time
my
World Series
point-
champ, trash truck to you.
Zero-time World Series champ in Boston. That's all I care about.
But to my point, though, there's too many moves that got to be made now to get. Sometimes in the big leagues, you do get stuck. Like you get stuck behind players, and this is what's happening with him a little bit right now. But if he continues to
He
go
shouldn't
out
be
there
stuck
and hit
behind
the
anybody.
bomb,
Who is he stuck behind? Who, if you were to power rank all the outfielders at the big league level and include Roman Anthony at the AAA level, you're telling me he comes in last?
So you bring him up tomorrow. Just bring him up tomorrow. Then where does he play?
Left field, Duran in center, and Willier in right. And you bring your boy, the MVP, Rafaela, you put him at shortstop, and you tell Trevor, sorry, but this is the best team that we can go with right now.
So what do you do with Trevor? You DFA him?
No,
Owe
I
him
mean,
$50 million? Or he's a bench player then?
You would have to, yeah. I mean, you'd have to figure it out. You'd have to work him around. But I'm not DFAing him tomorrow.
I promise you that Craig Breslow is thinking we're close to those lines.
I would venture to guess that conversation has taken place.
Yes, it's taken place, but he's not.
We got a pitch and change,
make
Pap. You hold that thought. You got to do what you got to do when you're stuck.
I hate it.
I hate that we have to do it. I don't
There you
hate
go.
that this is
There
the
you go.
plan now that we're in the situation.
Yes, there you go. I hate it because we have to do this right now. But, until the starters can start going to more innings, and I know, look, we got injuries and we got.
Well, that'll
stand
work.
by.
I still think you should have left Fitz in for more than 44 pitches, but
Agreed.
we'll be back. All right, runs are at a premium here. Before we talk about the game a little bit more, we're going to bring in Casey Hudson back on our social media spot. Casey, what do you got?
All right, this one's from Beef Stew 2022. Hey, Pap, for my money, Cowboy Joe is the best umpire that ever lived. I feel like there's some thoughts, emotions, some things behind this.
Beef Stew is egging me on tonight, isn't he?
Beef Stew wants a beefy reaction out of you, yeah.
Man, yeah, I don't know. I'm a firm, and this happened the other night with Walker Buehler. He stood on the mound. He did not leave the mound area. The umpire confronted him. Sometimes these umpires, especially Joe West, they think it's all about him. And, as a rookie, I found out real quick. But me and him, we went back for a while there. He don't like me too much. I tried to do a peace arrangement with him, but that didn't work either.
Do you want me to mediate this? Because Joe West, big Carrabis guy, big super fan guy. I feel like I could mediate and get in between you two and I guess resolve the conflict between the two sides.
I want to know what the peacemaker was.
I got fined $50,000 for touching Joe West, and then another $50,000 for throwing Powerade at him.
Oh my gosh! I forgot Ryan Sandberg was the manager of the Phillies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Sandberg did absolutely nothing for me either. Didn't go out there and yell at Joe West. And I had a little conversation with Ryan Sandberg too about that. You didn't have my back there, buddy.
So did you come out to one of Joe West's country songs one time?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
Was that the peacemaker attempt?
No.
It was my attempt to make peace with him, but it totally backfired. And he ripped his mask off and stared me down the whole time I was warming up. And I was like, "Hey, Joe, you like this, don't you? This is cool, right?" And he was mean mugging me the whole time. And so I turned around. I was like, "Oh God, that didn't go good."
Yeah, that strike zone got a little bit different after that, did it not?
Yeah, I knew I had to throw it down the middle after that, Alanna.
That was after your on-field confrontation?
Yeah, this was afterwards.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
There we go.
We got a guy.
All right, Casey, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
See you soon.
My Joe West experience was wildly different. We did a wiffle ball home run derby at the All-Star game last year in Dallas, Texas. Very stupid to do that outside during the day, but we did do it, and we hired Joe West to be the umpire. We kind of just threw the idea out there thinking, like, he's not going to say yes to this. He did. He flew down to Dallas, Texas. He umpired our little wiffle ball home run derby, and he couldn't have been nicer. He was a delight, Pap.
Probably had a country concert there lined up, too. That's probably why he did it.
Yeah, he did a little double dip. He probably was like, I'm going down there anyway, so if you guys want to pay for my flight, too, on top of that and give me money, happy to do it.
What's the going rate for a Major League umpire doing a wiffle ball game?
10 racks, probably?
Wow.
Something like that.
All right.
Wow, we're back. This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. I know Pap has it out for the Section 10 boys. He's already attempted to kill one of us.
You.
But yes, me. But Matt Olson tried to join the trend by hitting a laser beam into the Green Monster seats in this series at Fenway Park. And this, regrettably, this ball landed where I was sitting. So I had gone all the way to gate D to go get my girlfriend, so I wasn't there.
Oh, sure. Throw her under the bus.
It's completely her fault, and I'll never forgive her for it. And Steve Peralt of Section 10 ends up getting the ball, and as you can see, Tyler Milliken is arguing.
There's a conversation that he must throw it back, or that he must keep it. Okay.
Yes, NESN alumni Mike Eamond is sitting there. You got Jake Yazzie. They're all debating whether or not he should throw the ball back. And he was getting slandered on Twitter. You had people coming for his throat saying you absolutely have to throw that ball back.
And you disagree.
I don't defend Steve on literally anything. Like, we disagree on pretty much everything, but I would not have thrown that ball back.
Why?
Wait, what?
Why would I throw that ball back?
Because it was an opposing hitter.
You're not a super
care.
fan if you don't throw that ball back. Secondly, did Steve not throw the ball back?
No, he didn't. Also, in his defense, this was when the Red Sox unveiled their green jerseys, which I know you don't like.
Which I love.
Pat does not like them.
I love them.
I don't like them.
We were guests of the Red Sox. And this is also crazy to me. I just realized this in recent years. I thought growing up a Red Sox fan, super fan, that if you throw the ball back on the field, you get thrown out in any ballpark. That's a Fenway rule. In Wrigley, it's like tradition.
Yeah.
You throw the ball back in the field, and they're like, woo!
Yeah.
At Fenway, you get tossed for that. You can't be a
that's
guest to
part
the
of
Red
the-
Sox.
I didn't know you get tossed at Fenway
Oh,
for throwing a ball back.
Yep, you get tossed for that.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's not
part of coming
exactly.
to that's part of the nostalgia, man. That's part. But when you throw that ball out, you get the standing ovation as you exit the stadium. So the fans are with you on it too. So
Sure, but those are some expensive tickets. You know, maybe not what they. I mean, they were guests of the Red Sox, but in general, those are expensive tickets.
But it's a home run ball. Like you wait. You wait your whole life trying to catch a home run ball.
And by the way, you said you wouldn't give it to a kid either, would you?
Would not give it to a kid either. No
Wow.
way.
Wow.
That's called growing the game, Pat. Because if I just give a ball to a 7-year-old kid, he's like, mission accomplished. What do I have to come back to a baseball game for? I got this ball. No. You wait your turn. You got to make that catch the hard way, or you got to battle in the trenches. You got to get into a dog.
You got to knock over some 3-year-old to get it.
No, we're not going to be Zach Campbell over here. We're not going to be Zach Campbell and trample people.
Yeah, that guy needs to be banned.
Yeah,
I disagree. You give the kid a ball, he's a fan for life. He comes back again. He wants to come get another ball.
So I do that. If when I have the batting practice passes and I go down there and we're in the dugout or whatever and guys are taking BP, I'll grab a couple of baseballs, and when I'm walking up, like if I see a kid, I'll give him a ball, whatever. But I've never caught a foul ball. I've never caught a home run ball. So if
you said that they need to learn through pain. That's what he said to me today.
Yep.
They must learn through pain.
Yep, because that creates a fan. That creates a lifelong fan. Is like
or a Jared Carrabis hater.
That too, but then again, if you show up around batting practice and I'm there, I might as well give you a baseball then. But if I ever caught a home run ball, that's it. I'm giving it to the 7-year-old super fan Jared that's in here. He never got a ball. I'm giving it to him.
And you haven't forgotten about it since.
Never, not once. No.
When you were a kid, did you ever come close to getting one and somebody didn't give you a ball? You have some trauma here. I mean, I could sense it.
Yeah, there was a time I was sitting behind the visiting dugout, and home plate. Don't run on William.
No.
Home plate is kind of like right here to like my right a little bit. Foul ball goes up, bounces off the pavilion, and comes back down, and it went right above my fingertip, and the dude sitting in the seat in front of me got it.
Did you touch it? Did it actually touch your hand?
No, didn't touch it. There was also a time, 2004, was in Baltimore, the last regular season series of the 2004 Boston Red Sox season was in Baltimore. I was there, and Miguel Tejada hit a foul ball in the same row as me, and a dude caught it in his beer, and it was probably, I don't know, 3-4 seats to my right.
Did he crush the beer?
He did. Yeah.
Ball in the cup?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Left the ball in there. Yep. So I've come close a couple times, but never quite had the chance to make a play on the ball.
But he's not bitter about it at all. Can you tell, Pap?
No, I'm not bitter at all.
No.
Yeah, there's some trauma there, Alanna.
There's some trauma.
Right now, I'm really worried about this 1-run lead we have, with man on second base with 2 outs.
I was trying to avoid the conversation. Yes, I know.
It's kind of like in the horror movie where you gotta like close your eyes, but you're still watching through your hands. Like that's kind of where I am right now. I'm just trying to distract myself from this at-bat.
Now, right here, I want to be clearly aware that there's a base open right here, okay? Especially if he's giving me that 96 in off of the plate, I know that I can go to that any point in the at-bat, right? We do not need to throw anything over the plate where we can do any damage on because we have a base open.
I just really hope they don't tie this game.
For a variety of reasons.
Yeah, so in the Section 10 community, when the game is tied in the 8th, we live stream.
Okay.
So there's only been one.
From the game?
You can be anywhere.
Anywhere? Okay.
I was at dinner on whatever it was, Saturday night, and we were live.
With your girlfriend?
Yep.
I'm sure she loves this.
She hates it, every little bit of it. But I think we did both of those games were tied in the 8th on Saturday of the doubleheader.
I pray to God you don't get married during baseball season.
Oh, that would never happen.
Okay.
I would never agree to such terms.
Okay.
So are you like, how's your steak, honey? Oh, wait, hold on. And it's an 0-2 count.
Yeah. Well, I had it muted. I had people covering me. I was just present. I was just here so I don't get fined. I was on the live stream, but I wasn't talking that much. Yeah, so we were just trying to get our attendance up.
Oh, no.
Stay and play. Stay and play.
Look, see, that kid got the ball. He's going to probably give it to his girlfriend. Oh.
Good for him. I ain't that guy. We've only had one tied in the 8th on Unobstructed Views. This would be the second of all time, first of the season. So it has happened before. Doing the alt cast while doing
while you're streaming?
Yep. Don't want it to happen. Not rooting for it.
Got away with one there right down the middle hanging.
I'm nervous right now.
Nope.
Slayton's not been a big strikeout guy as of late. This is a guy that in spring training we were talking about if Aroldis Chapman is not the closer at a certain point, if he has that role taken away from him, that Slayton was the clear choice. This would be a situation that you kind of prove yourself here. There you go. Attaboy, Slayton. No tie in the 8th.
I never would have thought.
Sox lead in the 8th.
Look at that. All right, let's look at this again. You impressed by the way that Slayton was able to get that?
Yeah, I mean, again, like this is a dude that stuff-wise should be punching out a lot of guys. Went through a long stretch where he wasn't punching out anyone, and when he needed to strike out the most, here you go. I mean, I'm not a big believer in jinxes. I don't do jinxes, so I just was drafting up my gold bottles tweet after every Red Sox win. I tweet the game recap in gold bottles, and I'll give you a little preview. I basically said, you know, Red Sox had no business winning that game. They didn't drive in a single run. They had a starter go 3 innings. Once again, shout out to the bullpen. Without this Red Sox bullpen, you're talking about a team that's like 10 games under 500. Like, how many times has this bullpen saved the game for everyone? Not just the starting pitcher that didn't go deep, but a situation like tonight, it's a 1-0 ball game. You didn't have an RBI knock, nothing.
No.
You scored your lone run on a pass ball.
Well, listen, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but I'm just saying, if we were to talk about how they got there, how they got it done, this Red Sox bullpen continues to, I don't even want to say overachieve. They're just battling every single night, and they are quite simply the reason why this team isn't 6-7 games under 500.
But, Pap, it's going to catch up to him. The overuse is going to hit him.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, you can look towards the end of this series right here. We'll see what happens. You know, game 3 of this series will be a big it will show you a lot, whether or not our bullpen gets used in the first 2 games or not. But to me, the bullpen hasn't been great. They've been okay. They've been okay to, get us through this rough patch. But, the strikeouts haven't been there. But now that we got the strikeout was huge tonight, I don't know how much longer this bullpen can sustain this. I really don't.
It's a lot of work.
The other thing, too, that I hate to put it out there, it's Bayo in a day game tomorrow. I know Bayo's been going bad no matter what the last 4 outings, but historically we're talking about a guy that has been not good in day games. Tomorrow's a day game. Tomorrow's a Bayo game. So they have to close this one out. They need this one.
Yeah, to me, it all depends on whether or not Bayo can go out there and command his 2-seam. To me, he's got 17 inches of horizontal movement on his 2-seam. And sometimes that doesn't present itself as a strike at all. It runs off of the plate. So he's throwing a lot of pitches. He's not getting deep in the games. Get up. There you go.
He's also not finishing guys, Pap. How many times did he have someone down 0-2 his last time out, and it's just like, all right, I'm going to throw another non-competitive. They're non-competitive pitches. What was your philosophy? If you have a guy down 0-2 in the count, sure, you might waste one upstairs, but he's trying to get a swing and miss, and it's just non-competitive pitches.
But your waste pitches have to be competitive, and what you're saying, I agree with you on that. Once he gets to 1-2-0-2, they're not competitive, meaning they aren't in the zone and then out of the zone, meaning that out of the zone you want the hitter to swing at the ball out of the zone, but it presents itself that it's in the zone. He's presenting those pitches out of the zone the entire time, so the hitters are sitting there getting back in the counts. But to me, I always said this: if Bayo can be our number 3 starter and give us, 5 or 6, now we'll be okay. But he's not even doing that.
No, he can't even complete 5, and that seems to be a trend around here, and that needs to stop. Cora's called it out. I mean, Cora's been saying that in his post-game press conferences or meetings with the media. We need more from the starters. The starters have to be better. And tonight was by design. Richard Fitz coming back from the injured list.
44 is still a little light, though.
It's light. I agree it's light. But I think they probably didn't want to send him out there for the 4th inning and yank him mid-inning.
Mid-inning, yeah.
Yeah, I think they wanted him to complete something just have a nice little round outing.
I'm with Alanna, though, too, on this a little bit, though, too. I mean, we're getting, though, a little bit deeper into the season now. We're third of the way through. I mean, at some point, you got to start pushing these guys, right?
Not the first start off the injured list, though.
Yeah, but even still, though, 44 pitches.
I would have sent him back out there. I agree with you. I would have sent him back out there.
At least for one more hitter.
Yeah, but I can't. When we're talking about guys like Bayo not being able to get through 5, we can't put Fitz in that same discussion. Guy coming off the injured list, but yeah, it's been disappointing. I mean, even a guy like Walker Buehler, it's does he fit into that? No, he got ejected.
That's because he ran his mouth too. But I mean,
he didn't even deserve to get thrown out of that game. He got baited.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got baited.
He got baited by the umpire that wanted to be a part of the game that shouldn't have been part of the game. And unfortunately, it ended up screwing us. And I think nobody more will recognize that than Walker Buehler himself.
At least Walker has fire, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
That's one thing you never have to question with him is he wants to win. He has fire always. He
would have been great as a Red Sox, like a career Red Sox
Pap,
guy.
I told you that I see a lot of you in Walker.
Yeah, no, I like Walker as well. I like his fire. I like his approach and everything.
How many ejections did you have in your career, Pap?
I don't know, a handful.
Just in Boston.
2, maybe 3.
Was there one where you got tossed and Tech also got tossed in the same exchange?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds very familiar. I don't really remember a whole lot. I'll be honest with you. I have, closers were meant to have short-term memory loss, and so, that's what I face now. But it was also good for me because I never worried about whether or not I lost the game either. So I have short-term memory there. But
That's helpful.
yeah.
Oop.
The one thing I remember Mariano telling me at an All-Star game was, "Pat, no memory." I was like, "What?"
Memory like a goldfish. Be a goldfish, Pat.
Yeah,
Be a
yeah.
goldfish. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. It's time now to see if Aroldis Chapman can close this thing out. Again, to your point, Jared, not a single knock, not an RBI that was in. It was a wild pitch that allowed the Red Sox to get on the board, and that is all she wrote there. You see it there. That's all she wrote as far as the offense is concerned. So now a tall task for Chapman. Pap?
I mean,
Yeah, you know, for me, I used to love to come into the games that it would be 1-0. Sometimes a 3-0 game was not as locked down for me. It's just tend to stay locked in more than a 1-0 game. But it's one of those games where, look, they scratched across a run against another bad team. So, hey, you got to take what you can take. A big league win is a big league win.
also, I mean, they could be looking at you saying the same thing. Like, how do we not beat this bad team? They're looking at us the same way we're looking at them. So I'll take a 1-0 win, even if you didn't have a single RBI in the game.
But like I said, I'm obviously a lot more nervous than I am with a 1-run lead and a 3-1 lead, but I don't have the ball in my hand right now. Aroldis Chapman does. But he's been throwing the ball extremely well lately. You got to give the man credit.
That's what makes me nervous, though. That's what makes me nervous. I feel like this has blown save written all over it just because of the way that it's gone. I don't want to say that, but just the way that this game is unfolded.
Did he go? No, he didn't go.
I need
You
this
got to
win
go through
so
the heart
bad.
of the lineup to do it, too, which is, another thing. It's not going to be an easy task.
This Brewers team has not been your traditional, beer league softball Brewers lineup that we've been accustomed to the last few years. Like they've struggled offensively. They've also lost some key players. So
They're very mirrored, these two teams.
yeah.
I mean, they lost Burns, they lost Devin Williams.
Oh my God. All right.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, Yelich, good piece of hitting right there by Yelich, taking 100 the opposite way.
100 on the hands with movement.
Yeah, I don't. It's only 100 miles an hour to me, and I know that I used to backspin a baseball or try to, but to me, there's no reason why anybody should be getting anywhere close to that hitting a 100-mile-an-hour pitch. And I've asked guys about it, but they say they see the ball out of his hand pretty good for 100.
Did you actually? I don't know if you saw this, Pap. You know the traject machine. You know what those are?
Yeah.
I went in there against Chapman, and let's just say, you know, your boy got some wood on the baseball.
Did you know?
Yeah. So it is what it is. You know, not everyone's going to be able to do that. I know that I'm a freak athlete. I know that
but you know,
certain
pitchers hide the ball different. Certain pitchers spin the ball different. Certain pitchers.
There's Jared in a Brewers
differently.
uniform. That's Jared in a Brewers uniform.
Yeah. But, you know, for him, I've asked hitters that have faced him, it's just the way in his mechanics that they can see the ball early on him. They actually see the ball a little bit earlier.
You can ask me if you want. You know.
2-0. 3-0. Rut-row, Shaggy.
I wouldn't totally mind walking Rhys Hoskins, if we're being honest. If there's going to be like a righty with some thump that I'm afraid of, it's going to be Rhys.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
What are we doing?
Wow. Hello, Yelich.
I think he had that bag anyway.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was over there quick.
He did have the bag, but this was another situation where the catcher popping up, you missed the clear. This is the Walker Buehler situation all over again. Like, that was a strike.
Yeah, Narvi has to be able to stay lower and hold his crouch a little bit longer. I agree with you. But in this situation right here, Darvish stole this base on Chapman and had it by a mile.
Is there a way that we could look at that pitch again? Because like I'm 98% sure that was a strike. And it was Walker Buehler all over again, only you didn't have Chapman going out to threaten the umpire's life this time.
He did not threaten his life. He did not.
Do we know that?
No, we don't. But
Jeez.
gosh.
Yeah, let's get another look at it here. Oh, I was
Close.
looking at the wrong screen. I'm an idiot.
Close. That is a strike, though. Was it strike?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was close enough.
Yeah.
No, for the love.
I would rather not do that.
Yeah, I believe that's a strike.
That's a strike, Pat.
Yeah, so see, if he stays crouching his zone, you get those pitches, but I think he's more worried about the guy that's gotten a huge jump off the pitcher trying to catch up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Yelly was already sliding to third base by the time the ball got to home plate. Please catch this baseball. Okay. That was risky right there. Willier loves to let it fly. He loves to let the world know that he's got a cannon.
Like just waiting.
Yeah.
But we still have a chance to get out of this situation.
Well, you better.
Yeah, let's get one on the ground here. BC zone.
Yeah, all he's got to do is make one pitch here in this situation, concentrate
All
on
right,
pitch
so Pap,
efficiency.
what are you throwing here? Felix
Well,
at the plate. What are you throwing?
Well, I know that I still technically have a base open here, right? So I'm not giving in, and whatever the scouting report shows, I'm going to go after whatever the scouting report shows. I go against him with runners in scoring position. Everybody hits different with runners in scoring position. You have some here versus runners without scoring position.
Oh,
Late in the ball game,
son of a bitch. Oops, are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man. But like I was saying, people's at-bats change in the ninth inning. Their approaches change, especially with runners in scoring position and when they're not. But you called it, Alanna. He said he was going to blow it, and he blew it.
It just felt like the way this game was going.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes in the big league, the baseball gods will get you. If you don't deserve to win a ball game, they're not going to let you win a ball game. And The Red Sox have not proven anything, the reason why they deserve to win this ballgame.
That's a fact. Yeah. I mean, everything that I was saying going into it was you had a starter go 3 innings. You scored your only run on a pass ball. You haven't done much, if anything, offensively.
And Chapman was due for one.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Golly, that's 93 bounced a foot in front of the plate. What was that, a split finger he tried to throw or something? That might be hurt. He might be hurt. We can't afford to let him go down. Did he catch that in the throat?
It looks the same. Yeah, it hit him. Ah.
Yeah, it got him in the throat.
Oh, be a catcher, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
93 to the throat.
Oh.
Yeah, no thanks.
Man, that's gonna leave a mark.
Oh.
Ugh.
Gosh.
Let's hope he's okay, because he's been one of our better players as of late.
Oh, that's scary.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, I feel bad. That's scary, man.
He's good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why they teach catchers. I know, I mean, it's easier said than done. They teach when you block the ball to keep your chin down so that prevents that from happening.
Well, they also got those hanging chin/neck guards, but he doesn't have one on.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's Gold Glove, Wilyer Abreu, to you.
Wow. Game-saving catch right there, folks.
Maybe season saving. What if they can stave them off, Jared?
That's also like, that's a loud out too. Yeah, I don't exactly feel super great about Chapman, even now with 2 outs, getting out of it, but. And now it's like, if you go to extras, of course the game that you have your closer on the mound, a 1-run game, will go into extras on a day that your starter went 3 innings. Like, your bullpen is already gassed, and now you're going to go into extras on a day that your starter went 3 innings.
And for me, you know, watching this, thinking about this, it's like, man, like, you've blown it already. You tied the game up. Now I've got to find, like, the energy and the mental fortitude to get through this, because I've already blown it. How do I keep my team still in this game?
Like, it's almost crazy to say it, but it's almost like Chapman would be doing his team a favor by just blowing it instead of
To save the arms?
Yeah, instead of going extra innings.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, the bullpen has to be gassed.
Who's left?
Well, when you put it that way.
Yeah, like, you've got what, Hendricks, Whitlock. Like, I don't know who's down today.
They optioned Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice if we had a long man like Sean Newcomb or something.
No, he gone.
See ya.
Oh, got him.
All right. Free baseball. Okay.
I don't want it.
Listen.
So here we are, our second Unobstructed Views, first of the season for us in extra innings. Not where you want to be, Jared Carrabis.
No, it's really not. I think.
Oh, the Ghost Runner, I forgot about this. Here we go.
Yeah, speaking of ghosts, I have a ghost runner in Trevor Story. But yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the situation the Red Sox are in, the only bright spot has been their bullpen. And day after day after day, you are taxing your bullpen and asking the world of them to be able to come through for you time and time again. And most of the time they have. Like, most of the time the Red Sox bullpen has been a reason why you've won games or series. And tonight's just another night on the list of the Red Sox bullpen.
When's their
doing
next
thing.
off day? Because they desperately need it.
I'm pretty sure they have off days Thursday, like every Thursday for like the next like 2 months.
Thursday in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That'll help.
Yeah, it's just, look, at the end of the day, it's not sustainable. You can't sustain it. Yeah, like the only good bullpen that I've ever been a part of that was able to sustain it and go all the way was the one in 07 when we won it all. But we were able to stay healthy, and our starters were going 7 every night.
Yeah, those days are long gone.
Yeah,
I swear, when Tarek Skubal threw when Tarek Skubal threw the complete game the other day, I was like, "That's a unicorn. That never happens anymore."
Yeah, they ask a lot of these guys.
Oof.
Nope. Safe. Okay. That's why you run hard, Juan Soto.
Pat Murphy.
Are you insinuating that Juan Soto doesn't run hard, Carrabis?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Pap. Yeah, I think he. There were a couple of moments there in that series at Fenway Park where he could have run a little bit harder, and he didn't. But that's okay.
Do you
I'm not gonna like choke him in the dugout or something over it. But I am.
You think that the New York fans got to him a little bit, maybe?
I think so. I think he got a little bit rattled, and it is what it is. I think he wants everyone to love him. He's the fun-loving Juan Soto, and I still love Juan Soto.
You can't be fun-loving at 765 and not hustle out of the box. Sorry.
What happened to the Juan Soto shuffle?
Oh, that hasn't happened since he went to Queens from the Bronx. He hasn't done it.
Has not done it. I love Murph, by the way. I'm sure you've heard some Murph stories, knowing going on vacation with Petey. I'm sure he's got a bunch of
from ASU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's see what we got here.
He's safe.
And he is safe.
I got him as safe. That's a.
There's not enough to overturn it. They called him safe on the field. It stands.
That's unbiased. That's objective.
Here we go. They don't need this long to review this.
No,
we already
really
know
don't.
that.
The Red Sox first base coach looks like Torey Lovullo. They could be twins.
A little bit.
They look more alike than Marcelo Meyer and.
Oh, please.
Safe.
True story.
All right. I like it. There wasn't enough to. I mean, it could have gone either way there, but I don't think there was enough to overturn.
I'm telling y'all this much right now. If the Red Sox find a way to come back and win this ball game, the Milwaukee Brewers after this game are going back in that clubhouse, sitting down, looking at each other like, what do we got to do to win a ball game?
Well, both clubhouses, whoever loses is going to feel that way.
Yeah.
This would be a nice confidence booster for the Red Sox, though. It's like we literally did nothing to deserve to win this game, and we somehow won this game in extra innings on the road. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about myself afterwards.
It doesn't take much anymore, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you can still win the series tomorrow. It's a nice little turn right around, day game, get it done. Get out of Milwaukee, which, by the way, love the city.
Did I say, hold on real quick, did I say that every time I look up, Sadon's 0-2?
Mm-hmm. You did say that.
Well, it's because it's true. I would love to see the statistic on, like, what percentage of at-bats start off 0-2 for Ceddanne Rafael in 2025.
I'll find out.
Whoa! I'm surprised you didn't swing at that.
But no matter what, right here, you have to be thinking, stay inside the baseball, something to the other way of the field, because that gets my run in.
Productive
a
out.
Sack fly. You have so many different options here.
Cannot swing and miss. Cannot chase. And he swings and misses. At least it was, you know.
In the zone.
Yeah. If he didn't swing.
Can you start saying he's got to swing and miss here so he can get hit?
So he's the opposite?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that one's too close to take anyway. You can't get on him for swinging, but it would be nice to make some contact. Pitch and change. Will be RB.
Is that a pitcher 58? Is there a pitcher? What was her? Yeah, 58
Yeah, there
coming
he is,
in.
58.
Yeah.
58 coming in.
58.
Uh-oh.
Well, Jared has his emotional support pillow out now.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that Jaron Duran can come through here. I mean, I would love a 3-run jack, but I would settle for an RBI.
I'll take anything at this moment, Alanna. It would be nice to see the Red Sox offense do something.
I'll take whatever is productive here.
Okay, fair.
Just
You're not asking for much.
I just don't need another swing and miss.
Okay.
I'll take a ball to the backstop. I'm not going to be picky about how they score this run.
So like before.
That would be incredible, yeah.
Okay.
The Red Sox win 2-1 on 2 wild pitches.
I have a lot of faith in JD here, though.
So do I. I always feel good when he's at the plate.
Yeah.
Gotta play
Get out,
ball.
Ooh,
Oh,
geez.
see?
Okay.
Is that
That's why you bring your glove to the yard.
Nope, he made
That
the
is
play,
a
kept the
kid.
ball. Made the play,
That
kept
is
the
a
ball.
kid. That was a kid.
That's a grown-ass man,
That
Pat.
is not. He's like 17.
That guy pays taxes.
No, he definitely doesn't pay taxes.
Yo, he does. Yeah, let's look at it again. Let's look at this grown man make a catch. Yeah.
I can't see. I'm so blind.
That guy's got grandkids, Pep.
He does not.
You don't know that.
I certainly know
You want me to
that
tell you
young
why I
man's
know
name.
he's a kid? Because he wears his jersey just like my kid.
But his hair's
With
all
the
floppy like
buttons
all the
undone.
kids today.
Unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Maybe he's too old to button him up. You ever think of that?
No.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I'm just thinking of JD, line drive in left center gap. Go opposite field with him.
Oh, thank God. I thought he was going to punch him
Me
on that
too.
one.
He's
Speaking of
clearly going
JD,
to
how
stay
does
away
Martinez
from
not
him.
have a job?
Eee.
Would you take JD Martinez back right now?
JD Martinez is too busy being a TikTok influencer.
He's an influencer
right
now,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, his girlfriend Brooke has turned him into an influencer. He's doing his cold tubs. JD.
Ay.
Yeah. He's staying ready though. He's staying in baseball shape. I talked to him not too long ago. He's still doing his thing, but he's not rolling out of bed for a discount. I know that.
The only way you stay in baseball shape is to play baseball there, Jared.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, Devers, is our last chance here. I hope. Now, here's the thing is, technically there is still a base open. Do they give him anything good to hit?
I don't
Or do they
think
make
so.
him try to hit something out of the zone?
It would be very unwise, but it's also lefty-lefty.
Okay, strike one. That wasn't a good pitch to hit.
No. Rafi agrees that was not a good pitch to hit.
I don't think they're going to give him anything to hit. If they do give him something to hit, it'd probably be a mistake.
It usually is.
Better squeeze tighter.
You're not going to see much around the plate here, Devers.
No. You
Gotta
going
know that
upstairs?
going into it. I think he's going down and away in the freaking dirt.
Okay.
We like that take.
I think at some point in this at-bat, he's going to get beat with that heater up and away. But we shall see.
I don't like how right we've been tonight.
Yeah, he's not coming in.
Okay.
Nope. Son of a gun. Nah. Okay, so now, on for the 10th. All right, looks like Liam Hendricks is gonna come in. This was the one run the Red Sox have had so far. Wild pitch or pass ball, whatever you want to call it. There you have it. Rafaela scores, and that's the offense. That's all she wrote for the Red Sox as far as this is concerned. So it looks like Hendricks is going to come on, Liam, to try to keep him at bay.
Good luck, dude. Hoping for the best for you. Yeah.
Well, hey, look, here's the thing is he wanted to be put in pressure situations and be pitching in these types of games, right? Didn't he publicly say he wanted to do that?
He did.
Well,
He wanted to be out there more. So now's a good opportunity to show that.
He said, how am I supposed to be better if you don't use me more? And here he is. I feel like he's kind of like their designated extra innings pitcher, though. I feel like he's getting a lot of play when the game gets deeper, the bullpen gets a little bit thinner, and then Cora's just like, I guess we're going to Hendricks now. Like, it's been very rare that he's been trusted in high leverage situations in, I guess, regulation.
But But again, this could be a turning point for him. Could be a turning point for this team.
Sure. The stuff's been good. That fastball, not good. He said he feels comfortable at 93, 94, that he can still get outs with 93, 94. That fastball was 93, but when he's at his best, he's throwing 96, 97. So.
Yeah, the 93, 94 just has to be a lot more located now. And I think that's what he focuses on and hones in on more now, because he knows he can't just go out there and blow Ched by everybody anymore. Like, he's gotten to that point of his game where it's like, okay, location over velocity, and let me get and work in my secondary pitches and get them to swing at him more. Uh-oh.
All right, before they score here, I want to say this. For all of the so-called fans that were threatening Liam and his wife in terms of their lives because he blew a save, get a life. Okay?
Yeah.
There's
Good
no
point.
room in this game for that type of nonsense, threatening Christie and Liam Hendricks because he didn't pitch well.
I agree.
Yeah, and MLB security will figure this out, Alanna, and they'll get to the bottom of it. I won't care whether or not they're burner accounts or not. They'll get to the bottom of these people behind this. They always do a good job. So hopefully that'll happen, and they'll get to them what they deserve that comes to them. There ain't no room for that, man. I can't tell you, Alanna, how many times that my wife has been in the stadium after I've blown a game, and she can barely get out of the stadium.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
There's no place. There's no place in this game for that.
No, I do know. I mean, I won't name drop a guy, but I know of a former Red Sox reliever that had something similar happen, and he went to MLB security over it, and they tracked the dude down.
Good. I hope so.
Very swiftly.
Good.
So.
All right, tough situation. This is something that I never dealt with when I played. They incorporated the new rule in extra innings.
Guy on second?
Yeah, guy on second.
You must hate
coming
that.
into these situations are so tough.
Were you a fan of the rule when they debuted it? Have you warmed up to it at all? Do you still hate it?
No, I still haven't warmed up to it. I'm still on the side of not putting a ghost runner out there. Baseball is baseball. If you're going to lose the game, lose it the way you normally would lose it, not with a guy on second base that they were given. I don't know. That's just kind of the way I feel about it.
I'm grateful. I mean, I like it as far as speeding the game up, but I'm so grateful that they don't do it in the postseason.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not looking good right now, Alanna.
It is not. You're absolutely right.
No.
I mean, how do you calm yourself down, Pap, if you're Liam right now?
Well, you got to just take one pitch at a time right now. You got to focus in, obviously, on location. And you got to always know that your infield's going to be in these situations, right? So knowing that if I leave a pitch up, it's probably going to go to the outfield.
Right.
So I want to really, really hone in on working down in the zone right now.
Yeah, would love a ball on the ground.
Looks like they're bringing in Cedon to be a third or an extra infielder as well.
4-man infield?
Yep.
Five-man infield.
Yep.
Okay.
So now you got to even focus and hone in, even being down even more. Man, what a tough situation Liam Hendricks is in right now.
So
it just makes it even worse, when you kind of call out the team for not using you.
I know.
And then
I know.
this is what we're looking at. And I love Liam. I love Liam, but...
And unfortunately, I think this is the second time he's going to get the loss after saying I haven't been used enough.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's better that he's on the road.
Yeah. At this point, this is kind of like when you're at the doctor and you're about to get a shot. You just close your eyes.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the pinch. This inning unraveled rather quickly.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. Any kind of little bloop like that. Look at JD.
Okay. Still alive.
Telling you, that guy's a gamer.
Look at JD playing number 7.5 in the outfield.
Yeah.
Left center coming in to make this play.
Christian Yelich.
That would have been brutal if that's the ball that ended the game. Brutal. I don't love this matchup.
I can almost promise you it's going to be some kind of brutal hit like that. It's gonna be some kind of bloop hit.
Yeah, I don't love this matchup if we're being honest with each other.
So here's the thing is we now still have the 5-man infield.
Yeah.
So if I'm pitching and I get a ground ball, are we going to home then to first?
Doesn't matter. Well, I mean, I guess you would want to take the guaranteed out at home, but it depends on where the ball sits. There's a ground ball
to the shortstop and it takes you to the second base bag. Do you try to roll the double play that way?
Don't you have to get the out at home?
I mean, if there's one out, I mean, it depends on how close you are to the second base.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
I hate being right. Did not love the matchup. Walk-off grand slam for Christian Yelich.
I did not anticipate the grand slam. I thought it was going to be like a blooper up the middle.
Yeah, no. I did too, Alanna.
Not me. Didn't love the matchup. Walk-off grand slam. Red Sox got to fight to salvage the series tomorrow.
Tough way to lose one right there, boys. Tough way to lose one.
Yeah.
They
didn't deserve to win, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but they almost had it.
Right.
But I just didn't feel good about Chapman. I didn't.
All right.
Okay. Well, we're gonna post-game now over on NESN. We're gonna be back on the 7th. We will see you there. For Jonathan Papelbon, Jared Carrabis, our entire NESN Plus crew, I'm Alanna Rizzo. Thank you so much for watching Unobstructed Views. We'll get him tomorrow, boys. Don't cry, Carrabis. Don't cry.
Bye.